What's up, y'all? Take a moment, share the broadcast. How's everybody? Let me, if you let me. Love never fails. What up, Mr. Mayor? How you feeling? How y'all feeling this morning? All right, y'all, take a moment to share the broadcast. What up, Kelly Newman Turner and 5 other people? What's up? We got 30 people. What up, JD McCallum? All right. What up, Leah Charrier? What up, Tiger? Let's see what we looking at today. What up, cousin? What up, Richard Greenfield? What up, Oscar Ortiz? What up, Blake Turner? What up, Kimberly Patton? What up, Double J? What up, Rick Good? What up, We the People? What up, Antonio? What up, Tiger? What up, Joshua Flynn? What up, Sonia Escobar? What up, Mr. Mayor Roderick Power? What up, Tony Romero? What up, Leah? What up, John Benson? What up, Alonzo Johnson? What's up, y'all? How y'all feeling? What up, Raymond Hubbard? Alrighty. I'm about to go get me some coffee, and then we're going to get this thing cracking. It's Friday, y'all. I got a graduate on my hands, so I'm proud of my young man. Went to go see him do his awards. You may want to watch this show today, and you may want to tell your friends, because I think when we look at the Ed Burke indictment, we're gonna take a deep dive into it. You know what? I did not look at my story about California has passed rules. California rules. Police. All right. All right, y'all, let's talk about it. All right, I'm about to go get me some coffee. We about to get this thing. I'm all right. I'm all right. Oh, you gonna go use your badge, huh?
Right.
Gonna be official with it.
No, you've been around as long as I have. It's always somebody say, "Hey, Alderman Stroger."
Yeah. Well, you still get to hold that title.
Yeah.
Why don't you wear your Alderman Todd Stroger shirt and just put a
I don't
former
know if I
on?
have any of those things.
Make one.
Right. So, right.
Shit,
you can
make
always
one.
make one, right?
You can take that bad boy, go make you one, and be like, and I have me a former somewhere, way low key.
Did you know Cal Sucker?
No.
He used to be. He was the commissioner before Suffolk beat him. He was,
I remember the name.
Yeah, he was a committeeman out there, and after he got beat, he had some cards printed up. I can't remember what they said, because he used to be the Illinois Party chairman too. But it was like Cal Sucker retired. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, I mean it works if you lobbying. That means to people they know you can get to people.
True that.
You can walk on the floor. Like, what better lobbyist to have in city council than one that can walk right on the floor?
Yeah.
And we are turning.
I mean, I think we're usually the only people that don't turn that into, like, we lose. Well, not we, because I haven't lost. But
I felt you were speaking for the group.
Right, and I had to be careful of that because then the next thing you know, people be like, "You don't speak for me," and I wasn't speaking for you. But the premise becomes that it like in Springfield, it's almost like understood that once you lose, you come back and all your colleagues vote for your stuff or at least make you credible. You done talk to all the lobbyists, you done talk to all the companies. And so if you weren't a complete jackass to everybody, then, and usually they grant you some business. What up, Aquaneezy? What up? Oh, you got to listen. You got to watch. The Ed Burke. See, first of all, I think they knew it was coming. I think this was all coordinated with the feds. But I'm going to stop. Y'all don't want my conspiracies going down all early. You got to wait. We got to save them up. Because I got a lot.
Well, I truly believe the feds do work with people.
I think, well, clearly they work with people because they work with Danny Solis. All you gotta do is read the damn indictment. But I think that they coordinated the efforts, and I think that it was not a coincidence that they did this right after that outburst. That stated, I can't wait to talk about this because black people are going to try and be loyal to Ed Burke. White folks are going to be like, it's blood in the water. Cook them. You should have seen Scott Wagaspack.
I disagree. I don't think black people are gonna be like, okay.
Black elected officials.
Nope, I don't think so. I think they're like, it's over.
You think so?
Oh, I think they're like, yeah, it's over.
I think that it's over, but I don't think they're going to stick a knife. I think white folks are going to be taking some knife sticks so that they can. I think the challenge with the Ed Burke thing is, the challenge with the Ed Burke thing is that nobody wants to go hard because they scared they could be on the list. Now, I'm going to tell you what, though, when you read the indictment, when you see why they're, one of the main reasons they're indicting Pete Andrews is because
I think I know Pete Andrews.
You definitely know Pete Andrews. If you, because quite frankly, if you don't talk to, he was like talking to him was like talking to Ed Burke, and quite frankly, he really was very dismissive of most people, particularly of our hue.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. My dad said that's how Tom Donovan was when he was the Mayor Daley's aide. I mean, you had to get through Tom Donovan to speak to Mayor Daley, and he'd be blocking you like, he don't want to talk to you.
Really?
Uh-huh.
I like Tom Donovan.
Well, we're talking like 1972 or something.
Yeah, I mean, Tom Donovan, man, that dude reinvented himself. Like, come on, man, he went from that to being, I was talking to him, he was like one of he had one of the first car phones in the city.
I'm not surprised. The man was like a thumb for Mayor Daley. When Mayor Daley controlled everything.
The first Mayor Daley.
First Mayor Daley, yeah. So.
Yeah. He was, that's where I learned about the whole give me your resignation letter. Well, I actually learned it from Double J, who learned it. That guy actually, Tom Donovan, put a lot of people on, though. A lot of people.
Yeah. How else do you think everybody owes you a favor?
Huh?
How else do you think everybody owes you a favor? Yeah.
Rise and shine with the WVON morning show.
And that infamous Beverly Country Club, stand the words that are coming. It's the reason they don't let black people up in there. Because that's where the money is. You got to be a very fair-hued black person. I don't even think they'll let Barack Obama in that bad boy. He probably had to get Ed Burke and Mike Madigan to sponsor him.
You know Calvin Jordan used to work with my dad?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's his uncle, Tom Vaughn, is some kind of member, but he looks like Calvin.
I wish we had a black country club. A black club.
That's what Michael Jordan said.
Huh?
Hey, somebody remind Michael Jordan he's supposed to start one of those.
I want a black club for us to be able to go somewhere and all be and talk and not have to worry about the spine prying eyes of the white folks. We could smoke cigars and drink, but it's like the world won't get no better. Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world! This is the WVON Morning Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger, in the building. Todd, how you feeling this morning?
Maze, I am woke.
You are, oh, Lord. We have balled up, thrown up, and jumped and woke. When the white folks started claiming that they was woke, Todd, oh, you meant literally. Like as in awoke, like in, not like conscious woke. Like woke.
No, I meant conscious woke.
Oh, you mean conscious woke?
Yeah.
We let me tell you, woke is played out now because the white kids say they're woke.
Okay, I'm not woke no more.
Okay, right. You look, he had to put that. He had to ebonically put it no mo.
No
Now
more.
you know your mother and your Saint Ignatius upbringing would not appreciate you saying no mo. It's no more, unless of
Ignatius
course
is all about just being the best that you can be. So.
being the best that you can be, sir. Yep. But $24,000 a year, you better be damn good. That's all I got to say. Hey, it is the WVON Morning Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. But y'all, you know we got a whole team in the building, and it is Friday, and you know it's her favorite day of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, WVON listeners, let's say what's up to Annette Flournoy in the newsroom.
That's how it is. We set the trend. You know, our culture sets fashion, social media, and now you're hearing it in the media where, you know, not just kids, but people are using that word woke.
You know what?
Levels in Hollywood and news, just in general conversation.
And once white, you know what? Woke is like the dab. Remember the dab? Remember when we first saw the dab and everybody was like, and all the brothers was like, you know, they hit the TV.
Like the fist bump, you know?
All right, man, you know what? White people mess up everything. It's like, you know, sometimes I love the internet and sometimes I hate it. So, you know, one of the things is, with the internet, it speeds up the time that white folks can hijack our stuff. Right? So it used to be like, you know, a dance would be in the city somewhere, and then you'll see it on Soul Train, and everybody be trying to learn how to do it. And then, you know, all the black folks, because black folks only watch Soul Train. And then you would learn it, we would get it like a couple weeks later in the suburbs.
Well,
And
they've
then,
been hijacking it since the Brady Bunch, remember?
they've been hijacking this.
Rad, and then all of a sudden in the 70s it was cool, and now, you know, how many times did you hear Marshall Brady? It's like, oh, that's so cool.
And how about this? They've been hijacking it since before Elvis with Ain't Nothing But a Hound Dog. Let me just say, the reappropriation of black culture has been, I mean, think about it. Think about fried chicken. Like, think about chicken wings. Think about how many things that we have put just in the mainstream that have been hijacked. So, Todd, you can't be woke, man. We got to move on. Black folks got to
We're
be.
gonna recreate. We're gonna create something new. What's next?
I don't know, but we got to think about what is next besides woke. We got to put it in some kind of like Swahili or something. So the white folks got to, like, if they learn this one, then they went out their way and we won because white folks speaking Swahili. All right, y'all. So that is Annette Flournoy in the newsroom. But you know we cannot fly the soul plane without the Wonder Twins. So let me say what's up to Miss Sonia Escobar and Miss Sonia Tompkins. Ladies, how are you doing this Friday morning? Oh, look at that. They coordinated that. Now, you know what? I think some of our listeners, you all listeners, Sonia, when I say Wonder Twins, what's that sound that you make? See, people, that is when they used to be on the show. So what I need you to do, I need you to get the other part where it says, Wonder Twins, activate. Shape of, right? And then we're going to figure it out. But anyway, all right, y'all. It seems like we got the whole team. See, Sonia don't even know what we talk about. Like one Sonia does. She's getting ready to YouTube it.
Yeah, she's gonna YouTube Wonder.
She's going to YouTube it. Now, let me just tell you, think about that. How many of us jumped up every Saturday morning to watch Super Friends and watch the Justice League? And then you saw the Wonder Twins every week, and then after the Wonder Twins was Scooby-Doo. Right, y'all?
How about I used to get the TV guide and highlight the cartoons that I was going to watch.
Man,
Yep.
man, and then you had a big old bowl of cereal. Look, your parents was in the bed, or they was gone, and you got up, and that was like really the only time, because it was usually one TV.
It was nothing for them to watch.
Right.
All the networks played.
Played cartoons.
From 9 till noon when Soul Train came on.
And man, and then Soul Train came on, and then it was like time to do the
Jackson
show.
5.
Right,
that was
man.
fun. The Say Hey Kid. Man, those are good.
The
shit.
who?
Say Hey Kid.
I don't
Willie
know.
Mays
that.
had a cartoon for a little bit.
Oh, I didn't know that. Hey man, I'm gonna tell you what. It was all good back
And
in the
we
day.
learned a little bit with the Schoolhouse Rock.
Oh,
Man.
boy, that's the great.
I'm just a bill. Just a plain old bill up in Capitol Hill, and I'm gone. Man, you know what? I'm gonna tell you, and they don't even have cartoons. I got up one morning to call myself gonna sit down and watch cartoons with the kids.
Watch Animal Rescue.
Right, man, and you know what they've done too? They put all those Byron Allen IO shows on. Right? Like, so they put all the IO shows. You know those shows, so I don't know if you watch TV, but there's these shows that come on and they're like informational or whatever.
EI.
Is it EI?
EI.
And it's up in the top corner and it says EI. And then it means that it's like one of the shows that all of these networks are public airwaves.
Uh-huh.
And so they have to give up some of their time to the public.
Right.
And so they create these shows like the Animal Rescue and all of that stuff to fill in these blocks, and they've stolen our cartoon
really?
time and put it on. Yeah, and Byron Allen also.
I watch that Animal Rescue type of stuff every once in a while. Man.
I mean, I think we all watch it every once in a while because we get stuck. Like, it's like on Saturday morning, if you want to get up. I mean, think about this. Good Morning America is on Saturday morning. This is part of what's wrong with these dang on kids.
Yeah,
Come on, man. Good Morning America. Hey, man, my parents used to make us eat generic corn flakes, Frosted Flakes, the ones in the black and white box with the green strip and the black strip. But even...
You mean you had child abuse, huh?
Man, that was child abuse. Boy, I hated going to Jewel and seeing that that aisle, because it was a whole aisle with no labels. And by the time we got through with that aisle, we was headed to the meat department. And that just meant you wasn't getting no good Apple Jacks. And this was before they even had the Apple Jacks. Like, it was the point when generics got so good that they knocked off everything. All they had was Frosted Flakes or Corn Flakes. You could get like the plain old, like some wheat bran. And they would splurge, and we would get wheat bran, Corn Flakes, and Frosted Flakes. And the Frosted Flakes would go first. And
You
then
know the black and white brand?
I'm talking about, remember when Jewel had,
Yeah, the black and white generic brand.
it was straight,
The weirdest flakes on earth, and milk would never ever make them.
but you know what?
They were not allowed in my house. I would pitch the biggest fit.
I see.
Like, it's not working.
I liked them though because of the crunch. Right? You got to keep your crunch and and then it's still, then it was like the sugar. It took the sugar forever to dissolve off the flakes. So you got something you want to say about that? Your stuff, we can't hear you at all.
Not at all.
Go ahead.
We had Rice Krispies and Cheerios and stuff bananas in. Mama didn't put no sugar in them.
Oh, you know what? We used to put fruit in our stuff, but it's just not the same. Nothing is like the milk at the end of the Apple Jacks. Have you like
The worst stomachache ever.
Oh no! I was drinking that. I was like, I used to try and make Apple Jack milk, right? Like, how did anybody ever get the strawberry Nestle Quick milk? Or the banana milk? And your mom, like, if your mama got the strawberry milk, it was like a treat. And you couldn't get it all the time. It'd be up in the cabinet. And if you was good, you could get you some strawberry Nestle Quick. Now they talk about that Nutella. You know what? Dog, what's that
You sound
stuff?
like Will Smith, and parents just don't understand what you was trying to buy him those clothes.
You know what? Let's talk about it all when we come back. It's Talk Chicago 1690. We'll get the soul plane up when we come back. It's Talk Chicago 1690.
More of the morning show with Maze Jackson.
All right, y'all. I just had some fun and missed every freaking headline.
That's right. There's time. There's always time. That's why I'm on.
Man, your mama got that Nestle Quick, that banana Quick. Stir it up in the milk. Can I tell you what the simplest things? Can I tell you what my favorite dessert is still to this day? My favorite dessert to this day that me and my mama used to eat was Salerno butter cookies and vanilla ice cream crunched up.
Oh, that sounds good.
You crunch up Salerno butter cookies and you put it in vanilla ice cream. That was our, like, when it was just me and my mom, that was like our super special treat.
Clint Eastwood up there, too.
Clint
I
Eastwood.
was just looking at some Facebook stuff and he popped up. So, you don't like us. So listen.
Right, he ain't even watching the morning show. He looking at Clint Eastwood. See?
I can see you.
You can't see the comments. Right, right.
Okay, 8:30 I have booked someone. Do I not book your 8:30s on Friday? You gonna stick to tell me something?
Who is 8:30?
So 8:30 is they're combating violence in the neighborhoods, and they're giving $10,000 grants to people who are trying to combat violence in their neighborhood.
Is it white people?
No, they black. Well, I don't know.
They-
You're right, people.
Ain't no black people walking around here giving away $10,000. And what they trying to do with that $10,000 get your database. But
And I had scheduled them to come on at 8:30 today, but I
so
saw your rundown.
tell me something good is every Friday.
Okay.
I try not. I don't want. They can come in and they can talk, and that can be something that they can tell us. Are they coming or calling? I mean, they can call us and tell us.
They're calling in.
So they can call it. They ain't gonna have a whole segment, but they can call in and tell us something good.
All right.
And something good is this violence prevention. Yeah, that's fine. We work it out. I won't play it. What up, Sharon? What up, Tamiko? What up, Alonzo Johnson? What up, Clifton Pierce? What up, Shannon Young? What up? Butter cookies with cheese?
Ew.
Oh! Oh! Now, let me tell you what I am thinking about trying, though. That people used to, that I am thinking about trying apple pie with cheddar cheese. I am actually thinking about that.
People do that.
I know they do that.
I
Back
don't, but-
when I was a kid, my cousin used to do it all the time. But now that I've gotten older, I feel like my taste buds have changed, and I now understand the sweet and the right.
Sweet and the salty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like I like when I first went to Roscoe's and I had chicken and waffles and the syrup and the hot sauce mixed,
Yeah.
and then
That sounds good to me.
it
now.
tastes great. It tastes so I love chicken with syrup and hot sauce, or honey and hot sauce.
That's too much stuff for me. I'm trying to keep the world a little less complicated. Just give me chicken.
What's up?
And I know I'm not like the rest. Just give me chicken or give me a waffle. I don't want both. Besides that, I don't think my digestive system is as happy with that kind of stuff anymore. Mixing and matching.
No, it's black-owned people. Black people don't get the fuck. Right.
They used to say Bullwinkle. Bullwinkle. But it's actually a Bullwinkle. Because it's a
Patrick.
bull and moose.
Patrick.
Oh. Hey man, I hope nobody saw that.
Hey man, you ain't government official.
I'll end up somewhere.
Did she tell you how much?
How much what? Oh, for the,
Yeah.
no, because we didn't know which one it was going to be.
Did she tell you ballpark? Is either one like it would be either $5,000 or
No.
okay. But you're going today after you leave here,
Yeah.
my man.
Milk, cereal. White, she had a lot of soul.
Sonya's the greatest.
I walked over, said your earrings cute. I said I'm wearing an earring, but
What up, Kel? What up, Will? You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM. That was when hip hop was, you know what? When wordplay was key.
Yeah.
Milky Cereal, LL Cool J. Talk about a musical conductor of the soul plane. You know what? With that musical conductor, get us to 50,000 feet because you on top of the game real early in the morning. And I have not talked about, we done got stuck on milk cereal Saturday morning cartoons. But you know what? It's Friday and I don't even care. Can I tell you what, Todd?
What?
It's going to be a good week, man. It's going to be a good weekend. I can't wait for Tell Me Something Good Fridays. Also, we are going to be talking to today's State Senator Toy Hutchinson, as well as State Representative Jahan Gordon Booth. Both, you know, I got some long time experience with both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And both of them are, they were the Black Caucus leads on the cannabis bill. It looks like they're going to pass cannabis legalize. They're going to legalize
like
cannabis. I like it too, actually. Legalize cannabis today. I think it will go into effect January 1st, 2020. And if you recall, in November of 2018, I told you that it would pass and that it would be legal, and nobody believed me. And I was like, it's going to happen. It is happening. In case you...
And Sony believed you.
Yep. Look, because my cousin cannot wait. He is like, he got a whole list of stuff he's trying to get. But, so we'll talk to them today. Check this out. You're going to want to tune in at 7 o'clock because I am going to break down the Ed Burke indictments. Todd, did you see that indictment?
I did.
Did you read all 59 pages?
No, I did not.
Okay, I read all 59 pages. You read the summary. I did the scan, but I read the 59 pages. The last of the pages went pretty quick because they were the I believe it was 18 indictments, 19 total. Ed Burke has been indicted 14 times, basically treating him like a political gangster. And they are charging him with racketeering. You know, Sonia, we got to find out how do we get Patrick Collins or Fitzgerald on here, and so they can break this stuff down completely. But I could tell you that looking at that indictment, Todd, I think black people don't have very much to fear, not from that part.
No.
But I'm going to tell you that
You gotta be part of the machinery. And
not being part of the machinery is probably going to be one of the best things that happened to the black alderman right now. But I'm going to tell you that watching that, like, I'm going to break down that whole cycle because, again, you know, like when you're in something and you don't realize that that's the thing that's happening, and then you take the helicopter up and then they break it all down and you're like, oh!
I've had many of those moments.
Well, I'm going to tell you that when you look at this Burke indictment and then you put this over in the Latino community and then you add this up with the indictment when they started breaking down the first, because remember, this is only one component of the people that Danny Solis got. Now, I'm going to tell you that you saw different things like marketing agents and marketing agreements. We just saw that with this gaming industry. I'm going to tell you guys that there is a lot going on in this indictment that, to me, Todd, when you talk about the machinery, we don't have it, but there is a whole set of machinery on the southwest side that if this is how they're indicting, and this is what they're calling racketeering, there you go. They're going to get, I can see 3 whole families right now. 3 political, I could see clearly when you saw the story of of Danny Solis being brought into an office by a lobbyist. And we're going to break it down at 7:30. I got to stop because I can't wait to get into this. Jussie Smollett is back into the news. They are...
I was wondering. I was missing Jesse.
It's Jussie.
Whatever.
Right. Can I say this? And the fact that he's back in the news, so freaking what at this point? Look, for the police to be upset that he didn't get more community service. Now, first of all, I'm ticked off. about the fact that he got off, and I think most Chicagoans were ticked off that he walked away because he besmirched our name. But the audacity of the FOP, of the police, to be offended that he got away with this when, for the first of all the black people we done seen get killed on video, that walked away, that's still on the street. I think Robert Riamo is still rolling. Didn't he kill Betty? Didn't he kill somebody?
Yeah, he did.
Right, and he's still rolling around the neighborhood, in the black neighborhood, and they're upset because Jussie Smollett. Now, I wish Jay-Z, let me tell you what. This is a message to Jay-Z. Jay-Z, right now, you are kind of like the, you know how it go. Y'all might hate it, but he the dude. You need to reach out.
Why would I hate it? But go ahead.
And grab Jussie Smollett, bring his narrow behind to Chicago, have him put on a mop, a broom, have him work swap for the next 20 weeks, put it on Instagram, share it, make him pay, and let's put this thing to bed. It's like, I really feel like Jussie Smollett could end this by paying his penance and just paying his penance. And maybe
like by doing the right thing?
By doing the right thing.
I don't see that.
And if he don't do that's why I said Jay-Z. I'm saying Jay-Z need to grab him by the scruff of the neck and come have him scuffed around here mopping up the floors. And somebody need to have, before we throw him in the cell with Adebisi, then he'll see. All right, y'all, let's talk Chicago 1690. We'll be back. We're going to keep up with some of these headlines. I'm going to blow the whole schedule today. So it's just going to rock how we rockin'. Tell me something good. All of that, we're going to do it all when we come back after traffic, news, and the weather.
Live from the WVON.
Ain't no schedule. It's Friday. You ain't got no job.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite quote. Yeah. Oh, boy. that is very quotable.
Yo.
As movies go.
Yeah.
It is a good
I
Friday.
heard Toy our roommates.
Okay.
Yeah. You ain't got no job. How you get fired? Not be at work.
And Silver Room.
How you get fired?
Yeah,
on
but
your day off?
you know we can't talk about the group fest on the show. We can't talk about the group fest because they in a war with because PS said they could. I had them about to advertise, and PS said they couldn't even advertise. They didn't follow up. They didn't do something they supposed to.
Wait, I think that whole article I sent you was,
I think it's.
I'll just see if I can get Silver Room. And if there's somebody else outside of that is actually very good.
I think it's really everything. It's like, did you use that as an example?
Yeah, I think Mays is right, but I've been saying this for years. The picture has been changing about what is considered business and what is considered undue influence. And now some of the older guys who've been using their influence for, decades upon decades are coming to well, I shouldn't say coming to, but the feds have finally said, all right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to send these people to jail and send a message. So that's what the feds generally say. We're sending a message. Hey, and if you remember, this is very eerily similar to kind of the Blagojevich thing, where Fitzgerald jumps on TV and he's like, this man shouldn't be the U.S. Senator. He jumped out way before they indicted him. But it was all about paid for play. Giving money so you can get things. Now it's more of having your business succeed because you told people, if you don't deal with my business, then you're not succeeding. So, I don't know. All I do know is all these successful firms now got to be quaking in their boots I mean, I know there's the white guys have done business for many a moon, and now things have changed.
Man, political Armageddon is here, and now it's time for us. I'm gonna tell you what, Todd. Right now would be the perfect time, really. We gotta find us a token white guy. We find us a token white guy.
I don't laugh, because I remember that's how John Johnson got his building on Michigan Avenue.
No, you
A
get
white guy went in and bought it for him.
We go-
with his money, of course. So.
Right. We get us a token white guy that can go land the business that makes white folks comfortable. But I'm saying, like, really, we can move around government. Yeah, she putting cases on Muggs, but the more cases she put on people, the challenge becomes she still got to pass a budget, y'all. She still got, like, we're going to talk about it. Because I want to talk about loyalty, because, Todd, you going to get in trouble on this one. I can feel it coming. I can feel it coming. I can feel this. Can you feel it? Who's out there rocking with us? What up, Mario? What up, Yashika Wadi? What up, Alonzo? What up, Artie? Artie Richardson. Artie, what was you, class of 88? I can't remember. You was a Spartan anyway.
That's all that matters.
Right, you wasn't a Raider, man.
You're a Raider. Go Raiders!
Look, we would have loved to play St. Ignatius in anything. We would have been like,
Hey, look,
they would have let me play.
I'm not gonna lie, we were a small school.
They would have let me play. And look, if we would have played St. Ignatius, I probably would have got the start.
No, I wouldn't go that far. No, we had some players. I mean, like in basketball, because that's the only major sport. Well, we were very good at track.
Because I had to run home.
Oh, I know this one.
I never heard this one.
Oh, I remember this one.
You are tuned into Talk Chicago 1690 AM. That was a Schoolhouse Rock I had not heard before. Todd, you heard that one?
I've heard that one. It's not one of the ones that come to people's mind, but yeah, I remember that whole Plymouth Rock.
Put that mic. You gotta get the mic closer to you. You can move it down. You know that, right?
What?
You're reaching up to reach. You gotta reach up to get your mic. All right, hey y'all, this is WVON.
My head my brain's so big, my head kind of falls. So when I'm talking to you, I gotta put it back
but then
up.
when you lean down and you get a camera, a straight shot at your. Let me stop. Hey, hey y'all, Sonya, did we get this thing to 50,000 feet yet? Cause I sure don't remember taking off. Could you hit the engines? Cause I just want to hear them. Cause I didn't hear the engines. And there they go. All right, I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't crazy, that I heard some engines. Let me point out something real quick that one of our loyal Facebook Live watchers and one of Chicago's, I can't call him a black icon yet, but I will say that he is a fixture in the black community. He is a voice of the black community. He is always saying, "Hear my voice." In case you don't know, that's that guy, Mark Allen. And he said that he tried to, Mark, did you try to chin check me, man? Did you say that black media is not reporting that today is the 98th year anniversary of the attack and the massacre at the original Black Wall Street in Tulsa? Is today the day? Well, if today is the day, y'all, we need to start making our own Black History Month calendar that we're going to have our holidays. And I'm going to just start declaring holidays that we're going to take and we're gonna not go to work. Y'all just don't go to work. And when you don't show up, and when you come back the next day, you tell them Maze said. They gonna be like, Maze said you better get you some.
That's the day I'm not coming to work. I'm in trouble here.
Well, I'm gonna say this though. You know what? Thank you to Mark Allen. Thank you to Mama D. Thank you to all of our people like Randy, everybody out there who is always keeping us up to date and pushing. You know, I can always talk about what's going on in the future, but I love those of you that are making sure that we stay in connection with our past as well. All right. You know what, Sonia? We're gonna do this a little fun today. So, Sonia Tompkins, I want you to. I don't know if you all saw that story about the plunder of black wealth through the house, buying your houses through contracts. Do you know I was as recently as 5 years ago, I was considering buying a house on contract, not recognizing.
You were?
Yeah, I was.
I never heard of that until.
Man, it's like
last week.
Oh, nah. People have been talking about that forever, and it's always been like a feel good, ooh, we could work this out thing. And then you wonder what happened. We have got to look into that. That's part of the whole reparations argument. Think about all those black people whose houses were sold 2 and 3 times after paying for them on the west side, and what community got rich off of it, and we can't never say nothing about it. But that's okay. It's okay. One day we gonna be free round here. All right. How about this one? Rainbow crosswalks up north. Rainbow crosswalks up north. And I'm gonna just say this before we even get started: that Lori Lightfoot didn't do it. Mayor Lightfoot didn't do it. That was your boy Ron. On his way out the door, gave them rainbow cross. Now you think we could have some red, black, and green crosswalks? How about this?
That's funny. I just said something like that to my son, and we both had a good laugh.
You dang on coloreds. Always wanting, give coloreds a rope they want to be a cowboy. Goodness gracious. Toronto wins game 1 against the Warriors.
Toronto's awfully good. The Warriors have to be tired for being in the championship so long and having all these playoff games.
Well, I'm going to tell you what. Kawhi Leonard looked so excited yesterday, huh?
He's something.
You know what? So I think being in San Antonio and even being in Toronto, I'm not the biggest basketball fan. I'm really just my son's basketball fan. But when I saw him play, I was like, wow, this guy is really good. Like, he's really good. I don't know if he was that great yesterday, but they were saying if he stays, imagine that, because Toronto is the only basketball team in Canada where like your city is behind you. Like, they were like, if this guy stays there, the whole country of Canada will be behind him.
I believe it.
Like not just one city, but all the cities, the whole country, because that's the only team.
Talent-wise, I look at him. He's like Jordan. He's got everything going for him.
Okay, we gotta move.
We get you young people.
Moving right along. Right, cut his mic. Cut his mic. Did he get it? Cut his mic. Did you compare Kawhi Leonard to Michael Jordan?
Oh, his game is very similar. He's defense. He's offense. He seems to know when his team needs him the most. He's very interesting as a player.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna tell you, he ain't no Jordan. Anyway, so let me just say, last one. Fritz Kagi got a lesson. Fritz Kagi learned.
It looks like somebody was like, "Look, Mister, you didn't pay the freight. This train's not moving."
I think that. Shout out to Fritz Kagi, because I like him, and he's he's such a nice guy.
But this is hard. This is hard labor. This isn't gonna happen. This is gonna happen in a very slow. He's gonna have to be work. It's like working the fields type of thing.
Nah, you know what? The only thing that's gonna get Fritz Kagi's legislation passed is 2 things that can get it passed: a federal indictment or a casket. That's it. That's it. You ain't messing with Mike Madigan's money.
Well, as we well know, everything changes, and do we not see that in the indictments that came out? Everything changes, and eventually things will change.
Well, I think
in this section.
And I said, just like I said, I agree. 1 or 2 ways it's gonna change: a federal indictment, and it's gonna be like, remember how the sex reform went? like nobody was going to reform the Me Too stuff until it got in the news and then it became a issue and they was going to be suing people. Then that's when it happened.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just tell y'all that it is. I just think that I think that Fritz Kagi is learning that who the king of the state is. Oh, what happened, Sonia? He basically was trying to pass legislation to get some property tax reform done, and guess what? He put legislation down in Springfield, and who is the king of Springfield? The #1 top property tax lawyer in the country. Who happens to be the Speaker of the House, who happens to control every piece of legislation that goes through the city, through the state.
But this is what I say. This is just like Alderman Burke standing up and saying that he wanted to make some changes to the rules, that you had done something wrong. This plays well for Katie. This is something that you can campaign and like you always say, oh, here's a media thing that just was made. So they just made a media thing for him.
And I think that combined with I think the whole property tax industry, like particularly for politicians, is about to be under high scrutiny. That's why I think you got to pay attention to how I think that Ed Burke is the small fish that they testing the waters with. And that's a pretty big small fish.
I was about to say, yeah.
That's a big tuna. Yes, he would say a tuna. Okay,
Right.
But then if they're gonna go for the whale.
Maybe Danny Solis was a small fish.
Oh, okay, you're right. But now they're going. But I think so. I think that if Ed Burke is bluefin tuna, then Mike Madigan is like a big sperm whale. And so I think that. See, I did that right there. And I think that what happens is there is a bigger story that this is the preliminary. Remember when we saw that first? I can't wait to break this whole thing down. But I'm going to stop and I'm going to go to the social media question of the day, which is what we really need to be talking about.
Yeah.
Todd, there are varying degrees of loyalty in this world based on the groups and associations that you belong to. There's family loyalty, there's friends loyalty, there's loyalty to your organization, or to relationships that you have. But the level of involvement with those organizations tends to determine how loyal you are to them. In my estimation, in spite of his history with the black community, Ed Burke has been a somewhat good colleague to the Chicago, to his colleagues, not financially, but he's been a good member of the city council to members of the city council.
Right.
But now Ed Burke is the poster child of everything that is wrong with Chicago politics, at least in the world of the voters that came out this last election.
Yeah.
And so the social media question of the day is, how loyal should other aldermen be to Ed Burke during this time? Will they throw him under the bus? Yesterday I was watching Chicago Tonight. Scott Wagenspec said, oh yeah, when Lori Lightfoot, because Lori Lightfoot has asked for him to resign. She said resign. Now he's innocent. In this world, I thought you was innocent until proven guilty.
Not in politics.
Well, see, but here's the problem. The problem becomes, just like you talked about, Ed Burke, in association with Ed Burke, there's no positive outcome for it. But like I've said before, within the realm of the Chicago Aldermen's Caucus, there is no belief that Ed Burke could go down. A lot of times. Now, Todd, do you think that people will be loyal to Ed Burke still? Or will they throw him under the bus? This is the social media question of the day. We'll ask it when we come back. How loyal should other aldermen be to Ed Burke? It's the Talk Chicago. We'll be back after traffic and the weather.
More of the morning show with Bass Jackson.
So my questions on the poll are: be very loyal, say nothing, use it for political benefit, or throw him under the bus. Should you stay loyal? Ray Lopez will stay loyal, and he'll probably be the beneficiary of political contributions, etc.
Yeah, but he's part of his team.
Right.
I mean, he's a true member of the team. He's not like other aldermen.
Who's true members of the team? Should Anthony Beale stay loyal?
No, I don't. A true member of the team is somebody. I'm not going to go real. It's somebody like him whose whole career only starts. Oh, don't go that far.
No, I want you to do it, but I want you to sit down.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So Ray Lopez is a totally different animal. His career is only because of Alderman Burke. It's like being Marty Quinn. You're only there because Speaker Madigan said this guy is going to be the alderman. So of course he's going to be 100% loyal. I mean, the only thing that probably could turn him is like, hey, you don't want to go to jail? Speak up, buddy. And he'd have something to say. Generally, though, it's not when the feds are really putting pressure on him. Say, we're going to send you to jail, Mr. Smith. They say, you know what? You know your cousin Poo Poo, who's been doing such and such over here? Well, we know about it. And he's going to go to jail for a long time if you don't start talking. So, I don't think that's going to be happening with people. So,
Your first two callers, do you want me to ask them to comment on your social media question? Because they were just calling randomly talking.
I want them to talk about, yeah. Wah! Right, so Burke is vindictive. He's spiteful. He's got allies. But let me tell you what also is, I can't wait to talk about this Burke thing. Because I'm just telling you, it was so much to unpack, and I just read it peripherally. Now I'm going to also tell you that you should look at that. You should reread that and look at my story, Illinois Minotti. I know y'all, I'm telling you, I told you this stuff 5 years ago. I broke it down. Let me tell you what though. So you know what I see though, Todd? I saw that when they released the first thing and I said if you got a section, then you probably gonna get indicted. So I think that when you look at how they're playing Ed Burke and Danny Solis did this exact same thing to Victor Reyes, right? Which was, Victor was like, where the business at? You ain't bring me the business. Everybody else bring me the business. If you don't bring me the business, it's how they did this racketeering.
right.
They did the same. The preliminary examination when they did the Roosevelt Group Victor Reyes thing, that was the same pattern. If you look at what Madigan did with that land, the land and the transfer of the land to get the Chinese hotel, same thing. Put the squeeze on the dude. We're not looking to take a quick hit here. We're trying to take a long term.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm telling you, it's like the racketeering, the way they do it like that as a criminal enterprise. And when you heard Patrick Collins say he wanted to turn it into a story, so you can say it's how they do it. It's not this one incident. It's how they use the office, and how what they've done is shown how the law firm is essentially a money laundering office for the extortion of large businesses that they target. It was real deep. It was pretty deep.
Wow. I guess it's good to be poor.
I wanna be down. Wanna be down. of what you're going through. I wanna be down. I'm gonna be down with you. I'm out of the time of day or night. It's true. I wanna be down. But instinctly in me to up your alleyway. So with some Alizé. You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM. The ladies are in here rocking. You know what? What happened to Brandy? Remember when Brandy was Moesha, and she was on she was on Thea's show, and Brandy was America's sweetheart. She got in a car accident. Well, I think Brandy got Ray J. That's what I think happened. Then the Kim Kardashian tape came out, and we never thought about Brandy the same again. Not that she was in the tape, but you know, Ray J just kind of stole the whole. All right, y'all. So back to the social media question of the day. How loyal should all other aldermen be to Ed Burke? Now, the social media question of the day, I'm asking it on Facebook Live. And if you are on Facebook Live, you can go to the Maze Jackson page or the WVON page. My answers are, Todd, they should be very loyal. Some people, they say, should be very loyal because Ed Burke got a foul on everybody. And if you talk too much, he might drop the bomb on you. You might open up Sneed and find yourself with your extracurricular activities.
Does Sneed still do stuff?
Yeah.
Oh.
Just when they need to snuff somebody.
Yeah.
I asked another, maybe just say nothing. You know, like, maybe just say nothing. Should we use it for political benefit? I think Lori Lightfoot is going to use it for political benefit. I think she's going.
I think we've already seen that start.
Yes. Well, I think she's going to continue to capitalize on it, though, Todd, because if you think about Lori Lightfoot, and she can use this to emasculate other aldermen, right? She could make Ed Burke the poster child of corruption and this toxic city council and be like, that's why aldermen should not be able to talk about zoning. That is why aldermen should, like, Ed Burke is the only person doing deals like this. Like, ain't no black people. So here's the funny thing. The black people are going to get jammed because of what Ed Burke did. Because, you know, the white folks going to show this how you do it. You put it in the media, you create this pressure, and then you make everybody say, oh, the corrupt aldermen, and then the aldermen will wind up voting against themselves.
Yes.
Right?
Exactly.
See? You see?
Well, I already said, I think the mayor has already made herself as powerful as the second daily, and maybe as powerful as the first one. They all are in a box. The only ones who will be making any true noise are the Burke allies, and maybe, and I don't see this actually happen, maybe Beal, but I don't think so. I think he'll find himself trapped in I'll say it's like a black world where, you know, Burke has been the boogeyman for years anyway.
Well, I just think what's going to be real crazy is, well, where does the Black Caucus fit in all this? You know, we got a new Black Caucus. And shout out to Alderman Jason Irvin, who is the new chairman of the Black Caucus. Shout out to Stephanie Coleman, who's the vice chair of the Black Caucus. I think Greg Mitchell is the treasurer. Is he treasurer?
I didn't see the lineup.
I haven't seen the rest of the lineup. Somebody shoot me the lineup and I will announce those members. Congratulations to them. One of the things that I did notice about the lineup is that all the senior aldermen, none of them they all stepped back from the Black Caucus.
Well, they step back from leadership, and that happens sometimes as things go on. And the Black Caucus has never been a group, as I saw it, who really would work together as a group for a lot of issues. So it's not like you're always out in front and doing things. It's probably, I'd say, more ceremonial and let's get together and talk about what everybody's doing, but not let's talk about what we're going to do as a group.
Okay, I just got a text. Well, let me back up, cause okay, y'all, let me take one phone call, and I'm gonna take the phone call from Sister Zakia, because Sister Zakia, I know you've had extensive work in regards to Ed Burke. Talk to me. Sister Zakia?
Yes, good morning, May.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Todd. You know, when you mentioned Ed Burke being thrown under the bus, he needs to be thrown under the bus, back up, run over him 2 or 3 or 4 more times, and then stop the bus with him up under it, okay? And let the bus sit there for about 2 hours with him up under it, okay? Now listen, I talked to my good friend Tina Olsen.
That Sonya's crazy, ain't she? She backed the bus up over him. She backed up. Go ahead.
Hey, May,
I'm here.
I talked to my good friend Tina Olsen last night. And for those that don't know who Tina Olsen is the sister who Ed Burke stole her baby with the help of the Department of DCFS. Stole her baby, raised him up in her house. I think he's probably 21 years old now. So, you know, they say in the Christian church, God might not come when you want him, but he comes on time. Oh, he getting ready to get his. And he getting ready to get his at the hand of a black woman.
Oh.
Okay? I'm loving it. And your boy by then, they'll probably have to send him through a 12-step program.
You better leave my dog alone. See now, see? Look at, we can talk about loyalty. Sister Zakia, but you know what? No, I love you, sis. That's why I let you take the car. I knew you was gonna throw that in on the end though. But let me tell y'all what. I'm gonna tell y'all that this whole Ed Burke situation, we gotta look at it very, very, very deeply because it's a long history that goes back. And you know, I just think, you know what? Let's talk about it more when we come back. Because when we come back, Todd, I'm going to break down what I saw in this indictment and this whole system. It's Talk Chicago 16.
The talk of Chicago and the voice of the nation.
She said, back the bus up, let it sit there. She wanted to drop the house on the witch.
But she talks in the voice that a whole bunch of black people speak in. And she's just speaking for the group. There's been bad feelings about Ed Burke ever since Council Wars, and the only reason Ed Burke hasn't run for a major office is because of Council Wars. That has held him back. He's been able to do a ton of stuff, but he has not been able to break out of his ward, and that's because black people were they're going against him. Like nobody's business. So that's just the political reality. That's what happens when you're playing tough. Either you come out on top or you're damaged. So even as he's been able to work the system very well, he's always been damaged goods. I think most all of them are going to be silent. They're not going to have anything to say.
Damn. This cloud of uncertainty and rumor and innuendo undermines the integrity of government, Lightfoot said. If they have charges, bring them. If not, then we need to move forward. She telling them to clean up. Stop recording and charge these mugs.
Well, she said before the election, before the election, that there was going to be all these indictments, and they were supposed to have come a month ago? About a month ago, at least 3 weeks ago. So, you know, as we well know, the federal prosecutors leak information to people all the time. Sometimes it's good information, sometimes they kind of lead you down the wrong path. I think trying to stir things up. But it's obvious, she knows some stuff. I mean, just about every lawyer I know who's been a lawyer for more than 10 years knows somebody in the prosecutor's office. You know? And they're always telling them something, so. Shoot. We'll see what happens. But I say most aldermen are going to be quiet. Just see what happens.
But what did the coin say, Todd?
What?
What did the gift that Ed Burke gave you say?
Oh, it's the silence of your friends. But that's my point. I don't think his friends are political friends. They're not drinking buddies. This isn't, you know, like, come on, let's go out to, no, this is more like, hey,
Pass me $500 million on that deal. Shout out to DL Banks. Shout out to Scene Chicago. Hey, y'all, be on the lookout. August 16th and 17th. Maze Jackson, Carrie Steele, Coach Martez Layton and his wife, Ronnie and Shamari DeVoe. Couples Walk, Married for Life Couples Walk 2019 Chicago, August 16th and 17th. Get ready, stay tuned. More details to follow. That's right. We put Todd, will you and your wife join us on the Married for Life Couples Walk?
What is a Married for Life?
We're gonna do well, it's a new event that we're doing. No, we're going to celebrate the love, black love and black couples. So basically, it's gonna be a 5K walk.
Oh, this is exercise.
It's a 5K walk, and then it'll be where you and your wife, we walk. All of us walk with our wives on down the lakefront. We walk back. Then there's kind of like a program, celebration of love and matrimony, and really bringing back, just trying to help rejuvenate and recommit people to love.
I'm all for it. I don't know. My wife's got a really bad knee. I don't know if she can.
So well, you can hang out at the. We're gonna also have, but we're gonna have a program.
Right.
Right. So you, even if you don't walk, everybody's not gonna have to walk. Like if you don't walk,
yeah.
But
right.
we want to celebrate the love and marriage of couples, whether you're newlyweds or up to 50. Like we're gonna honor some long-standing couples that have been married, etc. But it's actually just to
like
really
newlyweds.
Reaffirm, huh?
We're like newlyweds, but okay.
To reaffirm just a positive event to reaffirm black love, positivity. So we'll have a reception with Ronnie, it'll be a bunch of couples, but it is Carrie and I have partnered up with Ronnie and Shamari and Dr. Layton and his wife, Coach Layton and his wife. They've done it in Atlanta and they've done it in Virginia. It's been very successful. And then essentially it becomes an annual event that grows into travel, but like people having positive couple experiences. Like there's not a lot of stuff where you can go and you ain't got to worry about everybody trying to knock off or trying to hit on your wife, or just like where y'all get to be together. And it's like where it's a true celebration of couples. So, y'all stay tuned. Huh?
Sounds good to me.
August 16th and 17th, stay tuned. Antonella will have the Eventbrite up soon. The save the date will be coming out. It will be a walk upon the lakefront. You scared? Go to church. This paging me at 5:46 in the morning, crack of dawn, might be yawning, wipe the cold out my eyes, see who's just paging me and why. It's my nigga Pop from the barbershop, told me he was in the gambling spot and heard different like five table in, but slow down, love, peace, trill, drop the caper. Remember them niggas on the hill up in Brownsville that you roll dice with, smoke blunts and got nice with? Yeah, I remember Fane up in Prospect, all them my niggas, and all love wasn't disrespect. I didn't say them, they schooled me to some niggas that you knew from back when you was clocking minor papers. Now they heard you blowing up like nitro, and you wanna stick the knife through your windpipe slow, so Tell them what you're gonna do. Damn. Damn. Why they wanna stick me for my paper? Damn. Why they wanna stick me for my paper? Damn. Why they wanna stick me for my paper? I heard about the Rolexes and the Lexus with the Texas license plate out of state. They heard about the pounds you got down in Georgetown, and they heard you got have Virginia locked down. But call the coroner. It's going to be a lot of slow singing and flower bringing if my burglar alarm starts ringing. What you think all the guns is for? All purpose for, got the Rottweilers by the door, and I feed them gunpowder so they can devour the criminals trying to drop my decimals. Damn, niggas want to stick me for my cream, but it ain't a thing. Niggas ain't always what it seems. That's one that smokes blunts with ya, couldn't picture. Now they want to come and get ya. Biggie won't slip. Ligaments, put motherfuckers in a bad predicament where all the dumb niggas went. You are tuned into the Talk of Chicago. Good God, it is the great Notorious B.I.G. And I must pay homage. That was a warning. That was a warning. And I will reload and explode on you, but that's all right. I'm going to move on. It's the WVON Morning Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Ty Stroger. Ty, what you know about warning? You got the Rottweilers by the door. You feed them gunpowder so they can devour.
I never heard this song in my life, and I'm
Whoa!
and I'm happy with that.
You've never heard warning?
No.
You know what, Sonya?
Don't care. I don't want to live in that world. I live in the world where I'm not going to shoot people, and my neighbor ain't selling stuff out the back door. Okay, that's where I want to be.
So then
y'all can do what you want.
So you don't need to know about the 10 crack commandments either, huh?
I know too much right now just because you said that.
It's the WVON Morning Show. I'm Maze Jackson, your hip hop host, and that's Todd, your opera host.
You're not. You're right.
And the host of the classical hour is Todd Stroger. Hey, y'all. Speaking of classical, hey, Todd, Monday we're going to be checking out our guy Common at the Chicago Symphony Orchestra. He's performing with the CSO. How crazy is that?
Yeah.
Like, think about that. Whoever thought that Resurrection would be, So do you think is he going to be remixing the songs, and are they gonna be like, what is this, the remix of this? Oh, is this the remix of I Used to Love Her right here? Oh my God. Hey y'all, it's the WVON Morning Show. It's 7 o'clock. It was the 7 o'clock break. I done talked through it. So let me say what's up to Annette Flournoy in the newsroom, Annette, as well as the Wonder Twins, Sonia Escobar and Sonia Tompkins. Todd, we're on the Soul Plane. Ed Burke yesterday, 14. He was indicted. He had 14 indictments out of the 18 that were there. He was named them 14 of them. Todd. I think that the Ed Burke indictment, on its surface, there was nothing new that was revealed from the standpoint of the Who's. We knew Danny Solis. We knew Ed Burke. We knew Pete Andrews. Danny Solis being the former 25th Ward Alderman. Alderman Burke, the 14th Ward Alderman, chairman of the Powerful Finance Committee, the person who decided that black people death was $5 million a head. As well as property tax attorney. We knew about the Chew guy, or whatever his name was, the Italian guy, Asian guy with the bennies. We saw that story. We knew the story about, I don't know if we knew all the story of the post office, but essentially what the government laid out was a case that Ed Burke was racketeering. Now, that's like, racketeering is like a gangster charge.
Not like, it is. I mean, that's what it is. Racketeering is organized crime.
Racketeering is organized crime. So they are saying that the senior most alderman in the city of Chicago, chairman of the finance committee, was a gangster. Now I told y'all, if you look at Ed Burke, he looked like a gangster. All the way down to the pinky ring, bro. I mean, seriously. I mean, if you ever saw a gangster movie with an Irish gangster in it, Ed Burke don't look like that. Don't look. I mean, I think he reveled in it. I think the pinky ring, the haircut, the tailored suits. I mean, who doesn't like a good Godfather impression? Come on, Vito. But he probably wanted to be like Patty O'Shea or somebody. But anyway, Todd. So I was looking at this
I thought you would have said like Moran, but okay.
Bugsy Moran. All right, I couldn't think of the Irish gangsters. You know what? So I just came up with one. I just made up Patty Moran. That sounded pretty gangsterish. It sounds gangster. Bugsy Malone. So Todd, but here's the thing, because I feel like all of the political people have said, well, we don't know what Ed Burke has done, and it seems like a light case. As a matter of fact, as recently as yesterday, you were like, I don't think there's much there. But Todd, when you read the case after case after case, and this is only the first 4.
Right.
They literally break down and he literally called it a fish. Said the big tuna. Did we land the big tuna yet? So, in case y'all don't understand, in case you all did not take the time to read the 59-page indictment, I did. And what it reveals, Todd, is the system. It reveals the cycle in which money how they hook big businesses into making them personally wealthy. Did you see it in the?
Oh yeah, but what always amazed me is that people would think that who are, and I'm not talking about just these characters. I'm just talking about wealthy people in themselves. Always feel, not always, but have a feel sometimes that they need to put the hammer on people when from their loft things happen anyway. I guess is it ever enough?
I think that at a certain point, I think Ed Burke was doing it because he could. I think he enjoyed the whole premise of being able to bring billionaires to their feet, to their knees, with a simple driveway. With just a simple driveway. They said by denying a permit to one driveway, they said we want all the business of all your businesses in the state. And if we don't get it, you ain't getting nothing. And what they showed was a pattern of time and time and time again. When you talk about this TIF program, and Ed Burke being in control of whether the post office, that ain't even in his ward,
Right.
gets redeveloped by these major international corporations. And he says, if you don't pay me, not me, pay my law firm, y'all ain't getting nothing. When he can call the water department and say, I will deny you access to agua, the essence of life. Yo, he was a political gangster. And when we come back, we're going to break it all the way down. Let's talk Chicago 1690. Look, Todd, like, I don't want none of that smoke.
I still gotta walk out the street. They have to do what they have to do. You don't want to see anybody ever. I mean, I've talked to people before, lawyers, and they're always trying to send me to jail. And I don't think being innocent is always going to keep you out. Not that I'm saying that anybody's innocent in these cases, but holy moly, nothing worse than having the feds down your throat. Yeah.
She reached out. So I texted the number. You need to make sure.
You know, that would explain why they have so much stuff. As they're trying to have a racketeering case. So there has to be a long pattern and show that it's not just about him putting the squeeze on somebody, as Mays is saying. They're talking about there's a system that's in place that just kind of makes this stuff work and puts the squeeze on people.
But see the thing that I saw in that's the same exact thing that Vic was doing to the alderman. You could take Ed Burke out of that and put Vic in there. You could take Ed Burke out of that and put Mike Madigan in there. Like if you pull, like essentially the same processes, the process that they had was the same. Danny goes and finds the person. You go find the person. You bring them to me. We put the whole thing on and tell them how we can help them if they sign up the firm. If they don't sign up the firm, like if you never meet the dude, you're probably in a good space. Once you talk to dude, then they decided like Burke ain't messing with you if you ain't no you got a lot of money. So he ain't gonna even sweat you. He says, Danny, you go fishing, because you're the zoning chair. Everybody is gonna come to you. When the big guys come to you, you bring them to me. I'll get them with the property tax business. And when I hit them with the property tax business, then I'll pay you off of what they give me because I believe in spreading the wealth, right? And essentially, Danny would go fishing, put the fish in front of Burke. Burke would then go hunt. Hit that door. You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM. I'm your host, Mays Jackson. Got my man, Todd Stroger. Todd, coming up at 7:30, we got State Senator Toy Hutchinson as well as State Representative Jahan Gordon. They are the two black leads. Weed's going to be legal January 1st. They're going to pass it today. I'm telling you, it's happening. Don't believe the hype. It's going to happen. And when they pass it, these two sisters have been at the forefront. We're going to talk about what's in it for the black people. Two sisters on the air shortly. But let me just tell you what. Let me tell you what this indictment revealed to me. Todd, and I know you don't want to talk about it because, you said you still got to walk outside. See, this is part of why this is the most dangerous morning show in the world, because it's like we get what happened. What we saw in this indictment was that Ed Burke essentially has fishermen, right? Some of those fishermen are lobbyists, right? They probably already telling right now. But in this case, the fisherman was Danny Solis. Danny Solis, as the chairman of the Zoning and Landmarks Committee, essentially meant that anybody that was building a large building or needed anything big done had to come see him. Now, Danny would then essentially vet those people. And there were probably big fish, medium fish, and little fish. Ed Burke only does big fish, right? Ed Burke was able to use a simple driveway to bring a multi-billionaire company, the Burger King Corporation, to its knees, where for a simple driveway permit, turn that into a demand to represent every Burger King that they owned in the state for their property taxes. That's called muscle in a mug. Real talk.
That's power.
That's called muscle in the mud. So Danny goes and gets the people, these people, and in the federal indictment they gave out a variety of examples: the Burger King, the Benny's, the post office, and there was one more. But when you think about who he was targeting, Benny's, $100 million company. Burger King, $1 billion company. Post office, billions of dollars in. He's taking big fish. Danny says, I got you these guys. Danny takes them and says to them, man, if you really want to get your project done, you got to talk to the chairman, Ed Burke. Everybody in Chicago has a perception, understanding that Ed Burke can touch and reach anybody. So then, Ed Burke then says, well, what do you need? And as you tell him what you need, he identifies the pressure points. Oh, you need TIF? I got a person in TIF he can help you or hurt you. Right?
Right.
You need water? I got a person in the water department. I can help you or hurt you. So now as you tick down your list of things that you need, Ed Burke systematically starts shutting them off until you do what? Hire his property tax firm. If you don't hire the property tax firm, things don't happen for you. Now, I want to also go back and point out to you all that when I tell you that when we do politics, we play silly. Remember when I told you, like, when Louis Gutierrez and all these guys make their political requests, they make their requests to put their people in strategic positions so that Ed Burke never has to talk to the mayor to stop your project. He don't have to talk to nobody. Nope. He's got the guy that signs the permit. And the guy just don't sign the permit. You just don't know why. And what does Danny do? Danny tells you, man, you probably need to sign up with the chairman. And when you sign up with the chairman, guess what happens? Magically, our money becomes the playground of the rich and famous. Did that make sense? Did I break that down?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you read the indictment, and yeah, I think you broke down what they were trying to say. This is how business works, and we're not going to have it anymore.
And so now let me tell you what I'm gonna take the helicopter up, and I'm going to encourage you all to look at that indictment. Remember, Danny Solis was involved in that, but remember the Speaker of the House. Remember, I told you if you had a section, you was probably on the list. This is the first. So now, if you remove Ed Burke from that equation, Todd, and insert the Speaker of the House,
they can say the same thing?
They can say the exact same thing. Exact same thing. Think about it. Go see the Speaker of the House. Danny Solis, the zoning, takes you to the Speaker. The Speaker says, hey, we are not interested. We're not looking for a quick strike. We want to bleed them out. Oh, you didn't say bleed them out. We want to stretch it out over a long time. Right? Same story. Same story. Let me go. Remember, I just want to break this down. So remember, I told you, if you got a section, then you own the list. Now I'm going to tell you, take that same story to the whole Victor Reyes HDO situation. Remember when he told Danny, where's my money? When everybody else comes in here and they show me my love and respect, you haven't. I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it for you.
That sounds so Godfather.
I'm saying. Think about it. So right now, and then I got to just take one more. Let me go back real quick. I want everyone to pay attention to the Pete Andrews, when they talked about Pete Andrews being indicted. Now, he was, according to this, the way this indictment allegedly, and all of this is alleged in the indictment. Pete Andrews is alleged to have been kind of like the muscle guy. Right? And so as the muscle guy, he did what he was supposed to do when the feds came and got him. They said they asked him questions, he didn't know the answers to nothing. I don't know. I can't remember. I don't know. Unfortunately for Pete, they already had him on tape talking to the people that he said he couldn't remember. Now, what was that, Todd? So they indicted him for that. But you know what that was? That was a signal to those other lobbyists, those other people that have been so super tight with Ed Burke. If you try that, I don't know what you talking about. We got 9 months of tapes, bro. So for the slick, cool guy with the cool hair that comes through, give you the cool, I want all y'all to think about it. Because remember, that was a closed network. It was only certain people that could penetrate that network. And as we think about it, and I want all the political people thinking right now, I want you to think about it. All of those people that was the superstars, that was the high profile lobbyists that had that direct access. The Fed sent them a message in that indictment that said, you better talk, or else you too, and some of y'all too pretty to go to jail. So you know they talking. Look, y'all, we're going to talk about this some more, but I got to talk about this weed issue. But we're going to come back to this because I got to break it down some more. And I need for you all to understand, y'all, it's real in the field right now. The best part of being black right now is we out the loop.
Right.
We ain't making no money. These dudes playing for hundreds of millions of dollars. We ain't making none. So it's good to be poor right now. Poor, black, and broke. This is Talking Chicago 1690. When we come back, State Representative Jahan Gordon Booth, State Senator Toy Hutchinson. Hey, y'all, legalization is coming to Illinois, and these two sisters are trying to make sure we get our cut. When we come back, what's in it for black people in the cannabis bill? We'll talk about it. Talking Chicago.
What's in it for the black people? Everybody liked your. I had lunch with some guys and they love it.
Well, what?
The question. What's in it for black people?
Really?
Oh yeah. People, I mean, you know, it's like we always say, white people are like, I don't know why I didn't ask that before. You know? People see the value in asking that question because everybody knows that shoot, you know, you gotta fight for something. That
You gotta
get a
fight
piece of it.
for your right.
And it's if you never ask the question, you'll never get the answer.
Sonya,
And that's one of the problems.
you gotta play,
We don't always get the answer.
since Maze just sung that, you gotta play some Beastie Boys. Why? Cause Beastie Boys off the chain.
She said what? We have some musical difference going on in the other room, a musical confrontation.
I can tell you which one.
You the super producer.
I always like you gotta fight for the right. Also, I like,
You like that one?
and I like Brass Monkey.
Brass Monkey.
That
Woo!
funky monkey.
You don't understand. I even dated a boy just so he can make me copies of CDs.
There you go.
Back in the day, it was supposed to be a
That
CD.
funky, funky. Okay, there's another. Wait a minute, Todd.
There's another what?
There's a Beastie Boys song that I'm so in love with. I just don't know the name of it right now.
They did their own style. They were good.
Okay, let's see.
Killer Mike died, or whatever his name was.
But, you know,
This news report is brought to you by Sprint. Hey guys, see how you can get an unlimited plan with one of the
Ooh, did I tell them too much, y'all? I think I told y'all too much.
Hey man, I think I mean you just broke down what the what the feds were saying. That makes sense. Because that whole indictment stuff, I mean, that's a tough nut to crack.
What do you mean?
I mean, to read the whole thing and you're trying to figure out exactly what they're saying, but you broke it down very well.
What I need to do is now go through and plug the names in. What I did not have time, why I feel bad is because I didn't take the time to plug the names in. So they write the indictments in a way that if you know people or if you know city council or you know city hall, then you can figure out who individual A, B, C, D. Now, I like to figure it out myself, but I'm going to tell you that the Sun-Times or the Tribune will probably have plugged in all the people by the end of the day. So I'll just let them do it. Todd knows the Beastie Boys, not Biggie, because the Beastie Boys were in his heyday when he was still.
The early 80s.
It was the early 80s. Biggie was the 90s.
No, wait, not the early, maybe the mid, but whatever.
Well,
Yeah.
the Beastie Boys would have been like 87 to 89,
Yeah.
something like that, because I was in high school. Hey, Sister Zakia. Alderman Burnett wants to know what you what do you take a moment, share the broadcast. Share the broadcast. What up, Corey? What up, Tiger? What up? Oh, Sister Zakia. I want to talk to you offline. You ain't got to put it up here, but or you can send me an inbox. What did Alderman Burnett do with
Jerk. You gotta fight for your right to party.
Says no way.
That hypocrite
Smokes 2 bags a day. This is such a drag.
Your
Mom's gonna wear your best porno mag.
Bust it, Mace.
You gotta fight for your right to party. Fight! You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Mace Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Todd, you seem like you on fire. Did you used to have to fight for your right to party?
No, I have an apartment by that time.
So you didn't have to fight, you just... Now, Todd, you had your own apartment. When you was at the apartment, did y'all kick it? Did y'all have parties?
Yes, my roommate was very, like, I'd come home and he'd be like, I invited the youth ministry over. So all of a sudden we'd have a party.
The youth. What kind of party was it with the youth ministry?
Oh, a lot of candles.
Okay, but
A few,
oh Lord, it wasn't no altar boys, was it?
Oh my God.
Okay. Well, speaking of, I was thinking of parties, man, and I remember when I first started partying, when I got to college, at the end of my freshman year, I remember when I first got to college, it used to always be these people it would be the party, everybody be sitting around talking, and then they would have this look. Then they would make this sign, and then all of a sudden they would get up and leave the room. And then they would always come back like 30 minutes later, and they would be hungry, and they would be giggling, and eventually my cousin joined that group. And my cousin would come back, but it was always a secret. And my cousin and them used to always they used to talk about going to Amsterdam. Because in Amsterdam, you could go and you could smoke weed legally. And you could go to coffee shops and tea shops, and it was not a big secret. And then you got Snoop Dogg and the Chronic album come out, and weed goes from being a secret thing to something that people do outside every day. Well, Todd, it was essentially Prohibition 2.0. And Prohibition 2.0 is about to end here in Illinois, probably today. A little bit later on the day, our Illinois House of Representatives is scheduled to vote on, I don't know if they're scheduled to vote, but I think they're scheduled to vote today on the legalization of cannabis. But you know what, I'm going to stop talking because I want to bring two of my favorite legislators on air. WVON, join me in welcoming State Senator Toy Hutchinson, as well as State Representative Jahan Gordon Booth. I don't think this is everybody's first time on the morning show, but welcome to the morning show, ladies. How are you this morning? Well, now, let me tell y'all. That's funny that you bring that up. So that voice that you heard that mentioned that we went to college together was State Senator Toy Hutchinson. And for those of you all that don't know, we at the University of Illinois, there was a unique brand of black activism with 1,000 black students in a sea of 39,000 white, and we formed a level of consciousness. When you think of Village Leadership Academy, that was birthed out of that movement. When you think about what's in it for the black people, it was birthed out of that movement. When you think about the cannabis industry and the social equity component, or bringing social equity, it was birthed out of that movement. So Toy, when I saw that you were the lead sister in the Senate, I was on fire. Now let me go. And then y'all may not know that I spent a stint as the executive director of the Illinois Legislative Black Caucus, and I made some great friends. Even though I do a lot of whooping, I made a lot of good friends down there. And one of the people who would always come to the forefront and be like, brother, you're not crazy. And even as I went through trials and tribulations, and as we grew, this show would be with us every day. Representative Jahan Gordon Booth, who is from the Peoria area. So, ladies, talk to me, because this weed thing has got me feeling some kind of way. We haven't heard too much about it, and now it's gonna pass. What's in it for the black people? That's what I want to know.
No, okay. So one of the things we knew coming in, and I have to. When Senator Heather Staines and Representative Kelly Cassidy first started, knew that they were going to do a bill that looked like he was going to move, because they had started doing a whole lot of traveling, researching, and talking about dropping this 3 years ago. And in that time, I was growing within my leadership of the National Conference of State Legislatures, and I was on the State and Local Taxation Task Force, which is a national thing.
Hey, Senator, I hate to interrupt you, but aren't you something really big in that right now?
I'm the president.
You're the president. Wait, you're the president of what now? Say that again.
I am currently the president of the National Conference of State Legislatures.
Not the black ones. You over all the state legislators.
All of them.
Okay.
Man,
So
we need to talk about that more.
we're gonna have you back to talk about that. Look,
Okay.
so get to it. Come on.
But what I was saying was that we started looking at that time, the 6 to 7 states that had moved to legalization and what all the taxation policies were. Nobody was talking about the equity stuff. People were talking about the war on drugs, but it was largely cities and municipalities that were trying to affect ordinances and things like that weren't happening because there was no power or stick from the state to help make them actually work. So I started looking at the money side of it just because I share revenue, and then you would start to see the people making mistakes, states making mistakes, like taxing it way too high. And if it was taxed way too high, then the illegal market wouldn't go away. Or if you didn't tax it enough and distribute resources where you could actually mitigate some of the harms of it, that just went unanswered. So Heather asked me early on, like 2 years ago, like I need you to help me do this.
Yeah, now you know, because
I was like, absolutely, I'm in.
now let me jump in, because you know, as we have been disproportionately impacted, you know, because maybe about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, Heather Staines, State Senator Heather Staines, and Kelly Cassidy came on the morning show, and I asked them why 2 white ladies representing this big old this thing that has been so negatively impactful in our community. I was like, if I don't see no black folks on it, we ain't honoring you. And so tell me how you all have interacted together.
Oh, I think it's been a great experience. One thing about the 4 of us is that we came into this process of, working to get to the point where we're at today from a position of being friends. Our friendship allowed us to have some of those uncomfortable conversations that you oftentimes speak about with Joe Walsh. We were able to do that, and particularly when you're talking about race, how black communities have been impacted, how black communities should also be lifted up as a result of the potential legalization of cannabis. All of those conversations were sort of our guiding principles as it related to the equity portion of ensuring that there's ownership in this space, ensuring that there is significant expungement as well as community reinvestment. So those are like the 3 buckets that when you talk about what's in it for the black people, those are the 3 buckets that we've always moved from. And when we have had these conversations, that always has to be at the forefront of any conversation that you have, because if you allow the taxation policy, if you allow the conservatives to drive the conversation, then our stuff begins to seep to the back, because Toy nor I are bashful nor shy, and we know that we're dealing with 2 women who we consider friends. Anytime something felt uncomfortable, something didn't land right, we would say, whoa, hold on, homegirl, that's not going to work. And we would just move from that point, and it has gotten us to a place where we literally are, hopefully today in the House of Representatives, going to pass the most equity-centered, the most socially just adult use cannabisation policy anywhere in the country.
So I heard you all say something yesterday, Toy. I was watching the press conference, and you said that this was not the first bill, but this was the beginning of something. So, one of the things that I complain about all the time, particularly for the Black Caucus, is we always talk about social services. And I'm super excited about the component that does the automatic expungement, etc. But when we come back, I want y'all to talk to me about, when we talk about equity, the part of equity I like to talk about is the money. And I want to know, where do we get in? How do we profit? And how do we make sure that our industry, that the black folks actually take a part in this industry? I'm watching these white folks scrambling around, and not everybody's hiring somebody doing something and some tricks. But how do we make sure that by the time this is over, I actually like to use this word. I like my references. How do we make sure that there is a black cartel that controls our piece of the industry so that we can benefit and build our communities? When we come back, I want y'all to be ready to talk about that. It's the WVON Morning Show. State Representative Jahan Gordon Booth, Peoria to Chicago. State Senator Toy Hutchinson. You know what? I think she might be in the most caucuses in the whole daggone Springfield. And when we come back, we're going to talk about legalization. What's in it for the black people? We'll be back.
May is Health Awareness Month.
So I'm going to tell y'all. Just tell y'all now. Never in my life, since I have been an adult, and paid attention to politics. Have I ever seen as much attention paid to black issues in Springfield? In my life. Now, that's before, now I know that there was the Harold Washington era and all that stuff, but what I am suggesting, y'all, is that if you would have seen the negotiations for the medical cannabis and how those negotiations went compared to how it was being discussed, the last time they had this discussion, was it like 4 years ago, 5 years ago? The discussion, guys, was led by white folks and even white Democrats who really were like, we got to do whatever we can to keep black people out, to keep the criminals out. And it was a totally stereotypically driven conversation, and black folks sat back. I think things are changing. I don't think that anybody would have ever stopped in the past. Me? Annette? Oh. I don't think anybody ever stopped in the past. Like, I can't remember in my recent life where they was like, hold it, if we don't get. Now, do I think it's perfect? No, I don't. But I do think that we got to figure out how do we navigate the space, knowing that, like, we ain't got the money in general. Tamiko, I will ask your question. I'll ask your question about the license fee. See, I think that most people don't recognize how to pass a bill. And I think that most people are like all or nothing, and why you don't do this, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But it's a negotiation process. And so, unfortunately, some of the things that we do on the morning show lead us to a level of impatience that think that there doesn't have to be compromise. We have to compromise to get even some of it. Just saying. Be back.
Right. The press is supposed to be at 9 a.m. Wonder what you're gonna say.
That's what my cousin told me. Bill did it. Sonia's the greatest. I'll get the $20 holler. You are tuned into the Talk of Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Ty Stroger. And Ty,
I couldn't tell if that was a serious song or not. So.
Hey, man, I think everything in that song was true.
Okay.
At least that's what my cousin had told me. We are on the live line with State Representative Jahan Gordon Booth. She reached, man, y'all. She got stretched. I'm going to tell y'all, I think beyond the fact that we have Jay-Z, mutual love for Jay-Z in common, I'm going to tell you that State Rep Jahan Gordon Booth is one of us. I'm going to tell you all that there's something different. And Jahan and I have had some real intense conversations about what is going on in Springfield and the change in the mentality of black folks down there, particularly our legislators. I used to talk about social service and legislating for social service, but we got a lot of young lawyers, doctors, people who have, not doctors, lawyers, we got professionals down there that get it, that are from our generation, that are recognizing that it's our time to step up. Ladies, I have been hearing, you've all talked about social equity, and one of the big components is the expungement piece, which I love that, and that is one component, but I really want you all to get, and can we stop here for 1 second and say, can I get you all, can we have a truce or something where we can have an open dialogue with the members of the Black Caucus so that we can start to do more to bring people together and figure out where we need to be in the fight to help move things along. Can we kind of drop those flags? Cause I know I'm a little harsh sometimes.
Well, yeah, you are sometimes. Because it's lots of times they're not either or conversations. They're both and conversations. There's so many things that we need to be focused on. That it's like for Black legislators, we can't leave nothing on the table. I mean, we can't take anything off the table. So it's like on one side, there's so much trauma and rebuilding that we need to do. So the social service network is critical. Then there's the criminal justice piece. That's the expungement part. You talked about that. So we have the reinvestment in communities that comes from the revenue from that stuff. And then we have how do folks get in this? So there's 3 buckets there. There's the revolving loan and grant program, the reduced fees, the removing, like going through and figuring out exactly what barriers we could remove and how we could target.
Put it down or pass it to the left.
And then the community college piece too, like how we get people in to learn about learn about the industry, getting into the industry, all that on the front, middle, and back.
All right, so talk to me about the money.
That's why this bill is like 600 pages.
So talk to me about the black tangibles. Give me a list of black tangibles on the economic side.
So one of the things we had to do was draw the nexus between people who come from disproportionately impacted areas, they call those BIAs, who have suffered the most under prohibition. So those are communities where people live, and you know that those communities, you know what color those communities are. You know who that is. We had to draw this, though, as race neutrally as we could, because the significant difference between what we did here and what the other 10 states did not do was build language with a post-enactment strategy to stand up in court, because we know this is going to be challenged. We know it is. It's not just one reason why the industry is all white and all rich and all male. There's a lot of reasons why the industry is all rich and all white and all male. And so it's going to take a number of different things to get at that.
So talk to me about...
One of the mistakes we made during the medical part was in the scoring process. We didn't look to see how you could benefit folks who, again, like who we're targeting, like people who just don't have access to get in the industry. And we changed the whole scoring structure on the application process to get at that. That is... If you're going to open up a business and you have a hiring plan that talks about 51% of the people that you're hiring come from these communities and are targeted in that way. If you're a majority company and you have something like an incubator where you're going to bring another black company on board, that's in there. We made it so that you don't have to have land up front, which means you can use your license as the ability to go after collateral to try to figure out how you can open up your building access to capital to get into this space. There's a 30-week scoring process. Go ahead, John.
Largely, these buckets were negotiated by Toy and I with the power and position that we bring coming from the Legislative Black Caucus. Because of the sheer numbers that we have, we were able to demand a $30 million grant and loan fund that then will seed opportunity so that if you're an equity applicant, you would be able to have half of the initiation of you getting into this business, half of that is seeded by the state. That hasn't happened anywhere in the country, maybe anywhere in the world. And we were able to negotiate that because what we know is, when you look at states like New York and New Jersey, where these conversations broke down, one, you didn't have a Christian Mitchell, a Toy Hutchinson, a Jahan Gordon Booth, and Ashley Jenkins, or Marshanta Wilkerson. And those are all the lawyers. Like, you have black lawyers.
Shout out to Ashley.
Governor, we have black lawyers at the table. It was, yes.
So let me jump in here real quick. So I'm gonna say this to the audience, y'all. We're not going to change all of the equity in one bill. I don't think you can. I think that what I am seeing and what I am hearing here, guys, is that you all are addressing, when you talk about the points, and I think what we've got to do is really take some time to analyze the bill. And what I want to do is not do this over the phone. I just felt like it was important for you all to talk to the black community, to let them know that their interests have not been abandoned in this process. There is there's a process. Can I do this real quick? Can you do? How long is the clip? Clip play. Can we get you to play to respond to this clip, and then I'm just gonna close this out because I know you all have got to get to the floor. But can we get you all to come back once session is over and come and kind of break down the best parts of this bill for our community specifically?
Yes, and we also just want to say before you close that thing out is that now is when that starts.
Now, and
it's not about passing the bill. So once that is signed, that's when our work in the community starts.
And Jahan, you hit me up with something that we were talking about, which was you said that the challenge for us, and it piggybacks off of what Toy just said, is that we don't have advocates in Springfield that are riding our issues all the time. We got people doing lobby days, but we're not necessarily there to manage our issues. Talk to us about that presence there.
So one of the things that I think that we as Black legislators are often challenged with is that we don't come down here with a band-aid from our communities. And what I mean by that is it's not that Black legislators don't understand the issue.
Oh my God, Jahan, you got to get somewhere. Because this is great. Hey, can y'all hold on for a hot minute? Because I got to go to traffic. Can I get y'all for like 10 more minutes?
Yeah.
Just 10.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
great. So look, I got to go to traffic, news, and the weather. But when I come back, we're going to continue talking with State Senator Toy Hutchinson, Representative Jahan Gordon Booth. Annette, we'll get your question in with the quote from Chapin Rose, and then we'll put a bow on this thing so they can go get us high. We'll be back at the traffic and the weather and the news. Todd, you gonna smoke, man? Todd, like if you were gonna let you
I'm
would,
getting old, so I'm starting,
to think you should try it once before you go.
No. I'm
The
guessing-
biggest users are older people now.
Well, I'm guessing I'm gonna be that same guy who's starting to have all these pains that last forever, and
You might
eventually you'd be like, man, there's got to be something to help this.
pass it to the left.
Yeah, like the guy was saying, people getting addicted to all those painkillers. This would be something.
My cousin say you can't get addicted to weed.
Yeah, this would probably be, as we know it, this would be something that won't have you out in the streets, looking for heroin. So, I think as I get older, if they don't fix some of this stuff, they don't like to do surgery on you anymore.
Can I suggest something now? So this is what I'm gonna tell y'all. Y'all, I'm going to tell you that there are going to be weed companies that are looking to do business with Black people because of the social equity component and the scoring process. One of the things that I don't think people understand, and I think by addressing the scoring process, and I haven't seen it I haven't seen the point system, but one of the things that if they address the points, scoring who gets the licenses based on who's got the best program to reach our community. Now what has to happen is we can't let the Negro preachers be the answer to everything. We cannot get boxed out of the industry by people who are not really gonna look out for us, right? So we gotta read the bill. We gotta look at the points. We gotta identify who the people are. It's not going to be handed to you, right? So like if you wanna be in the industry right now, you probably need to be looking at that bill, figuring out what your plan is, presenting that plan to a company. I know that's what I'm gonna do, right? So here's the thing. If you think about the fact that they put all these incentives in the program, now it's going to be incumbent on the baddest people who not are waiting on people to just give it to them to say, okay, now I'm about to go do the research. Here is my plan to you, this company, my plan to you, and by working with me to implement my plan, it will help you score better to make more money. So incubate me. So help me grow my own strand. Help me develop. It's like we got to take that bill and then put it to work with the people who actually want to work in the industry, not talk about work in the industry. Now, the other who know they're going to get rich, but they don't want to do the work. Yeah, there is going to be work in getting into this industry. It is. And if it is going to be work, We cannot allow ourselves to get boxed out by the old guys. We cannot allow ourselves to be boxed out by people who understand the process. Medical dispensaries should get preferential treatment because they invested first, right? Now, the problem is, quite frankly, the medical industry, let's just be real. The medical industry could get preference because they got the ability to provide the product. Who's got a grow facility that can supply and be up and ready? So name a black company that's ready to build a facility, a grow facility. Then after they build a grow facility, buy all of the regulations that it costs. Like a grow facility costs like $20 million. So the people who built the original grow facilities are going to supply the original amount of weed. Yes, you want them to grow, you want them to get to maximum, because all the new companies that started, it's going to take you 5 or 6 crops to even get ready. It's like, let's stop, stop looking at everybody else's money and why they get what they get, and let's say, okay, is there money now here for us to get? Let's get what we can get. And let's grow it, and let's make our own cartel. But I'm just saying, tell me where the grow facilities are. Tell me where we're going to get the weed from the black people. Even the black people that's selling weed right now on the street are getting their weed from somebody white. And I'm not fussing. I am suggesting that maybe you don't need to build from the ground up, but what you do need to do is have a facility to grow. All I'll say is, tell me where the black grow facilities are. Tell me, black, white, Asian, whatever, that can supply on day one the weed that will be needed to meet the supply. I don't think that exists. That's part of how we got to where we are. And I think that's part of why they're trying to change what they are. Right. We only got the weed. Who ready to invest right now? So if you ready to invest in the weed business right now and you got your $50,000 ready to go, I'm ready to rock with you. Let's do it. I'll help us get the team. It's like I'm just saying, what we doing for ourselves in this process? Everybody put their money on the table. Let's do it. Okay, so if you're ready, there's plenty of people that's ready right now. You are tuned in to the Top of Chicago, 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger, but y'all know how we do at the top of the hour. Got to say what's up to the WVON morning show team. What's up to Annette Flournoy in the newsroom? What's up to Sonia Escobar as well as Sonia Tompkins? They are the Wonder Twins. You know Todd is in the building, but you know on the live line we have our 2 leading ladies in Springfield, State Representative Jahan Gordon Booth and my good friend State Senator Toy Hutchinson. They are the black women in the lead on the legalization of cannabis. Ladies, how do you respond to black people? Because black people are watching this thing like a hawk. How do you respond to black people who suggest that we are still giving white folks the advantage and that we're not? How do you say that you haven't done enough in this bill to bring equity to the black community, considering everything that's happened?
There's no way we're going to be able to fix all this in one bill. This is the beginning. And it took hundreds of hours of competing interests and negotiating to get as much as we possibly could in this thing. And I have to say, there are a lot of people who had eyes on the ground in ways that Jahan and I could not have. And I want to give a shout out seriously to Edie Moore from Chicago Normal. Don't forget Anton. Don't forget Anton. I know. I was like, let me say Edie. We were like, we give it a shout out. It's like, let me say Edie in Chicago Normal. Edie Moore, that woman knows more about this than we will ever know, I think. And so it was like listening to a whole lot of people trying to get as much as we could in there. And then we had Anton Fields at Pure. And don't forget Operator Inglewood. Oh, the level of engagement from folks who don't normally get a voice, who have their fingerprints on this bill too, has just been incredible. All I say to the fact that we haven't done enough is that there's so much to do, and it starts the minute this thing goes into law, so we can track it, we can study it, we can watch it, and we're giving ourselves time to be able to fix it before the market can be cannibalized in and of itself. This is the work. The work was hard, but this is just the beginning.
So let me ask a question.
We're creating a whole new industry here. This is just the beginning.
So let me ask a question. What is the responsibility of people now? So a lot of black folks are saying, man, we ain't getting a part. What is the next step after this bill passes to ensure that black people participate? What do black people have to do to participate?
So I would say that one, people need to engage this issue. So the way that you engage this issue best is work through coalitions. So connect. If you don't like to read, connect with other people who like to read, who understand this bill through and through. Senator Hutchinson and I are not going anywhere. We're going to continue to keep our eyes and arms leaned into this space. We feel like this is. We are the chief co-sponsors, but we feel like this is our baby as well. So we sort of share in the birth of this. And we know that in large part, many of our legacies as a black, not just us as individual legislators, but as a black caucus, it does not ride on the passage of this bill, but it rides on what this industry looks like in 2, 3, 5, 10 years.
Right.
So
it's the implementation.
It's the implementation. And so what we need from our community is we need our community to have our backs. We need them to lean into this issue. We need them to be willing to come down here and meet with the players and the folks who are going to be implementing this policy, from the Department of Ag to ICPR to public health, to DCEO, and all of the areas, all of the many departments that touch this issue. It can't just be us as legislators. We have to have a community that has our back. That's one thing that you see other groups down here that they have that we don't. Because let me tell you, black legislators are second to no one down here. They work hard on every issue, and we are typically the folks that stand in the gap for everything down here. But yet we do it oftentimes solo, without any support. So this issue being such a hot button issue, issue that we lean into, we want them to continue to remain engaged and not retreat. Now that we have,
we just say it again, Jahan. We say solo without support, because we all have our network down here with the things that we want to work on. But we also do that in the face of you don't know anything, you don't do anything, and you're all crooks too. So this is one of those times where, because this hits people viscerally, and we all know what prohibition's been. We all know what being over-targeted and over-policed is. We all know that we got doctors and lawyers and NPAs and smart folks. It's not like black folks come to every single conversation from a position of lack. We're not all broke down and can't run a business. We have incredible talent and incredible wisdom right here in the black community. It exists. And we need all hands on deck, because when this thing goes through, it's one thing to hold people accountable for some nebulous something. It's another thing to hold people accountable for exactly what they asked for. And we need to be demanding input into this thing. And that only happens once we see how it rolls out, once we see where the problems are, and we do not take our eyes off the prize. We do not stop watching this. This is not over today if this bill passes in the House. This just starts.
Let me jump in. So talk to me. Some people seem to have an issue with the fact that medicinal companies got preferential treatment. Why is that?
Once again, well, they exist right now. Right now, as hard as we're fighting for participation amongst folks that look like us, even if somebody was ready to come in right now today, it would still take them a year to get up and running. Those companies exist. And so in the legalization process, we're going to open the doors on January 1st, 2020, and there needs to be product. Having said that, additional licenses do have to go through that equity lens. And there's a twofold issue here. We got to diversify the existing medical industry, and we got to open up rec in a place that doesn't codify the existing inequity that's already in medical. And it's going to run side by side. Some people, and the bigger worry that people have really is that some of the medical market's going to fall away, or they worry that it'll fall away once rec opens, because there's some folks who want it for medicinal, want specific dosages and actual things like that, just for real medical issues that may need relief.
I want bubble gum.
There's people who just switch over.
I just want bubble gum.
You often speak to this about the Black awakening being a real thing, and it is. One of the things that all of us that were around during medical, we have to admit to it. There's no sense in hiding from it. When medical was passed on the premise of we are treating individuals who are doped up on opioids, who are taking 39 pills a day, who could receive relief from medical. That was the guise that not only medical was sold to from the constituency standpoint, but to us as legislators too. Again, many of us were very young in this legislative game. Now that we are, kind of the OGs and the veterans in this space, we know to look at everything, not only with a business lens about where the money's going, but the equity lens as well. And so I want to be very clear that the voices of our people demanding more has emboldened and empowered us in a position where we go into these rooms and we negotiate, and if we don't like what's being said, we push back. We say, no, we're not going.
I'm going to tell y'all, just having been there before, this wasn't the way that it was. It's part of the way I act, the way I do. Annette, you had a clip you wanted to play, and ladies, we want to get your response to this, and then we're going to have to get you to come back, and I need to get both of y'all in the studio. That's what we need to have happen. All right, come on, Annette, you got a clip you wanted them to respond to.
There's a limited number of licenses, and we're going to give preference to vendors who are going to be in the poorest zip codes in Illinois. We're going to give preference to keeping poor people stoned. That to me is crazy.
Would you ladies like to respond to that? Because you're going to be on the news for the rest of the day after this, so come on.
I said earlier in the press conference, we did respond. We passed it.
Well, there's the answer. See, that's funny. See how the white people do the reverse trick on you? So now what they want to do, now that they know it's going to pass, now they want to make sure we don't get none in our neighborhood. You know what?
He was trying to say, rich people have been selling things to poor people all their lives. Let's keep it that way.
Hey, let me tell y'all what. To State Senator Toy Hutchinson, since we was standing on President Eikenberry's lawn, fighting for our brothers and sisters at UIC for President Eikenberry. We stood on the front lawn in the cold talking about no justice, no peace before there was. We was on the Rodney King program. We go way back in Toy. I'm going to tell you, there's probably no legislator that I'm proud of. Y'all may not know I was Toy's finance committee chair at one point. And then to Jahan. Hey, Jahan, I want to tell you how much I appreciate you tuning into the show. I appreciate your input, encouragement. Hey, and y'all got to stay encouraged. I know, black folks is mad right now. They've been mad for a minute, but you all are breaking through and pushing through in a way that we have not seen before. And I want to commend you for taking leadership roles in this position. The only thing I got to worry about is what happens to the number of brothers that can smoke and they can't get no jobs now. Are we going to fix that?
We're still working.
Okay, we still working. We got work to do. But ladies, y'all get back to work. We appreciate you. And hey, go ahead.
May,
yes.
Think about this. The companies that have these drug testing facilities, these folks are about to go out of business. The only drug that you technically can test for is cannabis. Everything else is gone within 24 hours. So in large part, in many states that have recreational cannabis, those drug testing industries go away.
Oh,
Good
we.
point. Good point.
All right, y'all. See,
Lots of stuff to talk about.
we got lots to talk about, so y'all get that bill passed, and then we gonna come back and talk about it some more. It's the Talk of Chicago. State Senator Toy Hutchinson, State Representative Jahan Gordon, Black Girl Magic in full effect. We'll be back after traffic and the weather.
More of the morning show with Vince.
So, can't fight, guys. It's got to start somewhere. I'm going to tell you what. While y'all arguing, I'm going to go have me a meeting or two. I'm about to go pull that bill down. I'm about to go address all the scoring points. And don't y'all be mad when I'm in the when I'm in the weed business. Because I'm not tripping.
Yeah, it sounds like there was some successes.
What I'm saying, like, now it's only $30 million. My thing is, when has there been $30 million for black people to go start business? Now, what we're going to do is, until that $30 million is gone, shutting the fuck up.
Right. I mean, yeah.
Spend the $30 million.
As I see it, this is something. This doesn't happen ever for us all the time. And as they were speaking about how they use their caucus as their hammer to say this is going to be different than everything else we've done. So I'm happy and a little surprised. I didn't know it worked out to this. Matter of fact, Maze, I need to talk to you about a guy I was talking to. Talking to a guy about something.
Okay.
But business is business. And of course, people with money always feel like, well, why should poor people get anything? They haven't done nothing.
Right, them same niggas, they gonna be like, they shouldn't even get to eat their welfare stamps.
But how do you keep poor people poor? You make sure that there's no advancement for them. Make sure they only make a certain wage. They can't threaten your people because they only have so much education. That way you make sure that you always stay on top. So
I got work to do. I got a job,
you just have to be smarter. Yep.
Why?
I've been taking care of business. Isaacs, man, those were good days. Good 70 days. And in the 70s.
Y'all see Todd coming into the church. He like, look, Todd come in. Oh, darn, we've got the church kids again. Is this the youth ministry? You guys spill Kool-Aid everywhere.
Oh, you guys.
You guys. Hey, you guys. What was that off? Electric Company?
Yeah. Hey, you guys. Yeah. We went to see the Electric Company, I think, when I was in 7th or 8th grade.
Man, I went to go see Sesame Street live at the Plaza.
Uh-huh.
Man, I was so scared. Them suckers was I was scared. My mama couldn't get me. I love Sesame Street. My mama could not get me to go talk to them. I used to be scared of them. And then the movie Blackula.
Like that. I saw Blackula. I saw Scream Blackula Scream.
Shooting girl. There is always something there to remind me. Always something there to remind me. Tired, but how can I forget you, girl? There is always something there to remind me. Always something there to remind me. Was love born to love her? Will never be a sweet. Will be a part of me. You are tuned into the Talk of Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host.
Back on our back rack, David Warwick. Thing.
No, we're done with
Thank you, Sonia.
Is that them too?
Of course it is.
Now, who's the original? Is that the play? Find the original.
Dionne Warwick.
She
is
sang
from
this?
The 60s.
She sang this?
Yes. Listen to him. She's saying this. He sounds so disappointed.
I'm mad at Dionne Warwick because she's still hating on Beyonce. You know what? I'm gonna take calls.
She does that.
Let's take some calls. 312-374-8130. 312-374-8130. We've been talking about a bunch of stuff. I still think that the whole Ed Burke situation, I think that's the most intriguing thing that is going on right now.
Yeah,
because
the feds don't do it. They have a 98% conviction rate.
Well, but not. Wait a minute, Ty. Yesterday you were like, I don't think he's gonna get. I don't think they have.
Well, now they indicted. That's different than saying we're investigating.
So,
and even if it's not him, somebody's going to jail.
Well, I was gonna say I think that. So, I think that there's a lot of people that are probably thinking about going to jail. I think that. When you look at the federal indictment, I still think the Pete Andrews piece is really telling because it demonstrates what the feds are going to do to you if you try to play like you don't know what's going on. Like, he didn't say no. He was like, well, I can't remember. I can't recall. Remember? You know how they always tell you, well, just say you can't recall. They was like, okay, you can't recall? Well, we got this tape. So recall these. And so now he's indicted. And so now I'm telling you, Todd, I'm telling you that I think that some of our political tolerance is so high that we can't really recognize when we politically drunk. Does that make sense?
I'm not quite sure if I understand.
You get it? Okay. Well, so I think our tolerance for political corruption in Chicago is so high that we don't even really know what corruption is. Right? Because I'm telling you, there's a lot of people, I don't really feel like there was a whole bunch new revealed in the indictment. But until he was actually indicted, most people were like, he's not going to get. I mean, this is Ed Burke. He can't get in trouble. And I mean, I almost felt like everything that we read was matter of fact. Like, it was so.
That's how I felt about it.
Right. Here's the thing, though. When you read it, and it's almost a given that that's the way it's supposed to work. And I think that we've become so accustomed to it, at least for the big. I'm going to be like this. I don't think anybody who read that was like, oh, I'm surprised. I don't think anybody was surprised.
Uh-huh.
And I think that when you are like someone like some white guy from Maine who's now the federal prosecutor, and you're like, he did what? You said, what? We're like, it's the Chicago way. They're like, no, that's the jail way. And I think that our complacency is going to be the downfall. I really feel like so many people are walking around like this stuff is nonchalant. Lori Lightfoot called the feds and said, enough with all of this speculation, enough with all these rumors. If you go indict. She basically pulled a whole card. And then guess what happened, Todd? They indicted him.
Yeah, but to your earlier point, I don't think most people, at least I didn't. Maybe I'm not like most people, I guess, but I didn't think it was at least as the indictment, such a heavy-handed process. I thought that people were like, this man's very powerful. I should probably use his firm.
Todd, where do you live?
Not that.
Todd, where? What? I don't understand this. Now I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'm not trying to jump on you.
We weren't a very heavy-handed group at the A4.
Because black folks can't be heavy-handed. And I'm saying that, but I don't think that there's any. Have you ever talked to an Ed Burke lobbyist? Have you ever talked to an Ed Burke lobbyist?
I'm sure I have.
Okay. Have you ever talked to an Ed Burke lobbyist when you want something? Or when they want something?
I've never wanted anything.
Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you. They walk in the room with their suit and they tell you just like this. If you don't do it, you ain't getting jack bone, never, not, no how.
I've never been in that position. I've either been well enough where I didn't need anybody else, or poor enough where they didn't care what I thought.
Well, I'm going to tell you that right now, we are in I got a good friend that told me that Armageddon was coming. I believe that I think the pale horse cometh. I think that we are looking at, as Lori Lightfoot called it before, I don't know if she called it exactly, but we are looking at a seismic change and in the sea of the way Chicago business is going to be done in the city council. And I am going to tell you that Lori Lightfoot's stick is the federal government. She got a bigger stick than the Inspector General. I think that right now we are watching the dismantling of the Chicago way. We could put.
I totally disagree.
Okay.
What you see that, and you mentioned it earlier, actually, not today, but this isn't anything new. It's not the dismantling of Chicago way. It's just a different way of making
the regeneration of it,
and different people making money. Just like as you said with Emmanuel bringing in different people to make money, they're saying you old people who used to be here in Chicago, you're not making any money anymore. We're giving it somewhere else.
Well, then we need to get in line, because we need to be making our money. So I'm gonna say this. I am not okay. So I think when I say the Chicago way, I feel like we are living through right now the dismantling, the disenfranchisement of, you're right, the previous guys. I think that you're going to see that happen in the black community. I think that the old black guys are about to get cut off. I think the old white guys, the old boy network is about to be redone. They're going to create a new old boy network.
With different old boys.
With different old boy now.
Yeah.
But what used to get you what you got ain't gonna get you. And I think it's maybe time to disinvest. It might be time to disinvest in Ed Burke. Right? It might be time to. But I'm also say that who stands on the ashes? Who rises from as these old power dynamics fall apart? Who rises?
Who's pushing the hardest? It's the Northsiders, and it's let's be honest, it's the gay community.
What? Right, because they just got new crosswalks. They got gay crosswalks and everything.
And they
All right,
didn't even ask for it.
Well, I tell y'all what. We'll be back after traffic and the weather. You're gonna tell me something good. Dang, Facebook killed us again, y'all. They be doing us.
All right.
What?
They never confirmed with me, but he's on the phone. Remember I was talking to you about this NFL player? Got him some music out.
Oh, yeah? What's his name?
Where the hell?
Is it English?
Verdant Valentine. He plays for the San Francisco 49ers. And he has his own music out now.
That's all good and everything, but
No? You don't want more?
not now.
Okay.
In a statement, a spokesperson for Burke said the charges were unfounded and not based on actual evidence. Mayor Lori Lightfoot is set to hold a news conference later this morning. Today,
She holding a news conference, bro.
See,
About
this is a true battle of. She is just trying to solidify herself as
the boss.
yeah. Everything that Tony Prewinkle was saying in her first commercial. She's trying to solidify that. No, this is the boss.
Hopefully today in the House of Representatives going to pass the most equity-centered, the most socially just adult use cannabis policy anywhere in the country.
she and others battled to make sure the measure includes a $30 million social equity loan to help minorities with cannabis and provides parties a
Y'all, they killed us.
convictions for small amounts. If it passes the House today, Illinois becomes the 11th state to legalize recreational marijuana. Chicago police have released hundreds of documents in the Justice Smollett case, providing more details on the two brothers police tracked down, questioned, and said they were paid by Smollett.
Abel and Ola Osendero were questioned by Chicago police on February 13th and confessed that Smollett planned the alleged assault. That was just one day before Smollett appeared on Good Morning America.
Dear Southside Board presents the 35th Annual Printers Road Lit Fest, June 8th and 9th in the historic South Loop neighborhood. This year's author lineup, sponsored by Wintrust, features Chicago's very own Alex Kopowitz.
But no, thank God. Resurrection, your last one to do. And so we got our people on about the grants, and she's a black lady.
They get 2 minutes. Oh shit, I'm talking about
So here is your May 31st, and I spoke with the NFL player, and I'm gonna send him some information on some open dates. And he was like, just schedule through me, forget my PR people.
Okay.
I said, they never confirmed. That's crazy. So do your resurrection. Do that. You see the grant information? I sent it to you both.
No, I didn't see it in the I haven't looked at it.
Yeah, I'll look it up.
I'm just gonna ask her. Todd, you can ask her the questions if you want to. Then.
Come join when Opportunity Knocks on Saturday mornings at 11 a.m. starting March 30th on 1690 WVON, the Talk of Chicago.
Hi, this is Cliff Kelly, WVON host and honored veteran, inviting you to listen every Saturday from 4 to 6 p.m. as I host America's Heroes Group, where we speak truth to power regarding the treatment of veterans, retired and active, discussing concerns for affordable housing, social services, Medicare, and all services geared to veterans. America's Heroes Group, where we speak truth to power.
This traffic report is brought to you by Bass Pro Shops. As people who love the outdoors, they stand for fish, wildlife, and the places they call home. They stand for great gear, fair prices, expert service, and memorable experiences. At Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, they stand together for you.
WVON, traffic and weather, now.
If you're in Harvey, look out for an accident at the intersection of 148th and Wood. Your travel times look like this: a 35-minute trip along the Ryan from 95th Street to downtown. Much better on both the Bishop Ford and Tuskegee Airport Memorial. That's a 20-minute trip. Lakeshore Drive still that 32-minute trip from Hollywood to Monroe. 26 for 67th Street to Jackson. If you're on the Stevens Street,
Hey, are we sure that next Friday Otis will be on?
outside of the Eisenhower, up
But maybe I can get the dude to come on with Otis, NFL player. I think that would be nice. Stop me with your eyes.
First of all, Big O is my man, so I got much love for Big O. He want to come on WVON Morning Show. He come on WVON Morning Show. But yeah, but Big O usually comes unless he's out of town.
Okay.
If you want to verify with him, you can. It's all love with Big O though. You know, unless he's in
I
town.
want that NFL player to come on with Big O so they can have.
So put him on next Friday.
Okay.
Hey, did you send it to just the one you usually send it to my regular? Oh, all right.
Hit that
I'm gonna keep looking for it.
hit that door, or somebody hit that door. Thank you.
I got it.
Bum, ba, bum, ba, bum, ba, bum. Tell me something good. This the new version. This the new broadcast. Man, that you love me, yeah. Tell me something good. You are tuned in to the Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. And Todd, one night only, coming up this Monday, June 3rd, at the Symphony Center, Chicago's own Common. Will join forces with members of the Chicago Symphony Orchestra in a live concert. Keep listening for your chance to win a pair of tickets. All right, y'all. Now, we're going to be awarding that before the end of the show, so you got to stay tuned. Also, Guys, this is May is Health Awareness Month, and it is ending today because this is the 31st. But did you know laughter releases endorphins, boosts your immune system, and increases blood flow while relaxing your body? This healthy tip is brought to you by Resurrection University. See what Res U can do for you. Start your career now at Resurrection University. Ha 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 ha. I had to get a laugh in. I feel much better as it is. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha.
That's a hearty laugh.
That's a hearty laugh. A little belly laugh. Hey y'all, but it is Tell Me Something Good. That's my wicked laugh. This is Tell Me Something Good Friday. So let me tell y'all. I got something good to tell you. We got some people on the phone line that's going to tell us something good. You know what? Let's start here. Let's start with Deborah Bennett Sr. She's the program officer for the Polk Brothers Foundation, and she is here to tell us something good about opportunities to win grants to stop violence in Chicago. WVON family, welcome Sister Deborah Bennett to the WVON Morning Show. Deborah, what you got to tell us good? Good morning.
Actually, I want to tell you about grants that we've already made to reduce gun violence in Chicago and make our city safer and more peaceful throughout the summer and fall. So this is our 4th year of grant making. The Fund for Safe and Peaceful Community provides grants ranging from $1,000 to $10,000 to grassroots organizations in 21 prioritized South and West Side communities. We just made 181 grants.
Man, 181 grants for how much money total?
$1.1 million total.
All right, and tell us some of the organizations that have received these grants and what can we expect to see, how it will prevent violence.
Sure. Well, there are a variety of organizations, and they are doing a variety of activities, including block parties, back-to-school rallies, sports tournaments, peace marches, drum circles, mentoring, movie nights.
I see the beekeeping.
Reconciliation summits. So they're kind of too many to list, but we do have a website that your listeners can go to see the organizations and hopefully come to some of the events. The website is www.safeandpeaceful.org, and you can also follow us at Safe and Peaceful Shy on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
All right. Well, that is Deborah Bennett. She's a senior program officer at Polk Brothers Foundation, and that was something good. We appreciate you, Deborah. Thank you for calling in, and you all make sure you volunteer. You go search for those grants for next year.
A lot of things happening.
A lot of things happening. I think I'm gonna go check out the beekeeping, man.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right. Tell me something good. Tell me something good. Let's go to Anthony. Anthony, you're on the Talk Chicago 1690. Tell me something good.
Good morning.
Good morning, fam. How's everybody doing, man?
I'm good. Uh-oh. Anthony about to whoop us. Go ahead.
No, I ain't gonna whoop you, man. Even though you had me on the phone an hour and a half yesterday, you cleared the line. But, things happen.
I'm sorry,
anyway, the good news was that proverbial plastic bag was put over Edberg's head. Believe it or not.
Too much TV?
First piece up.
Too much TV there.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, that was the first of many pieces off the chest. Wait till they get a hold to Matt.
See?
I'll ask you a question. Okay, what happened to Lisa Natty, the darling of the picture? Things got off. Last thing, she just up and quit. That means Burke and them knew this back when she quit. They knew this was coming.
Think about this.
Okay, I'll holler at you next week.
Anthony, hey man, I like it. I like what you're saying there. I like that. That was something good. Let me go to my sister Karen. Karen, talk to me. Tell me something good. My sister. Hey, you know what?
Good morning.
Do y'all know that Karen and Harold Davis gonna be coming in here? Y'all know we're gonna have them on the morning show. We're gonna have us a display of black unity and love. It's gonna be real butt naked lovish around this morning. But go on, Karen, tell me something good.
You know what's good is that finally many people have stepped up in Dalton to go after all the criminal activity, and people are not afraid anymore. The other great thing is I love how everybody's going to go down. And guess what, Maze? No, there's no loyalty when you're unrighteous because so many good people suffer. So everybody have a good day and stand up to bring people down.
That's my sister Karen telling me something good. Let me go to Bryant. Bryant, you on the Talk of Chicago. Am I still your favorite MJ, dog? Uh-oh. What's up, Bryant? How you feeling, dog? I ain't gonna talk to you in a minute.
Yeah, man, it's been a minute. I've been out here chasing that bag, baby. But,
Yeah. Well, we all on that paper chase.
man, look, my good news is, man, I know it's helping with my man. I done lost 10 pounds, brother.
You lost 10 pounds?
I dropped 10 of them off me, Joe. A whole South bus, baby. I feel good out here going to work this morning.
Hey, man, that's what I'm talking about, man. Well, I appreciate you, Brian. I'm going to tell you what, man. We going to get this thing on the road. You took 10 pounds off on the way to work. It's some good stuff. All right, brother. I appreciate you, man. No lollipop. Hey, Brian. Did I hear you call me? Hey, dog. Hey, bro. Yo, we calling up and pass to the left. 2 and pass. All right, let's go to the phone lines. Let's go to Mark. Mark, you on the Talk of Chicago.
Hey, Baze. Hey, man. Hey, Todd. How you doing?
All right.
Great. But I heard a little something, too, now, that there are some other alder women in this council that are about to be indicted as well. For example, like Ward number 34.
What?
Yeah.
You better say alleged. Get out of here, Mark.
Keep your ears open. Check your sources.
Okay, I'm going to be checking. Thanks, Mark. You're on the Talk of Chicago. That ain't something good.
I was thinking, wait a minute. I think
that ain't something good, man.
I was off the track a little.
I'm going to tell you. So, one of the things that I say is I don't wish, having had some federal interaction, it is never anything that I wish on anybody. Well, maybe my worst enemy.
Oh, well.
But then my worst enemy is...
I got a couple of those.
My worst enemy is probably working for the feds, though. So that's probably the problem. Look, y'all, when we come back, we're going to tell you something good. I'm going to tell you something good. It's a great week. Shout out to the Screaming Eagles. Everybody on their last walk to school. I see y'all. It's Talk Chicago 1690.
May is Health Awareness Month. Thanks. You can change what you're predisposed to.
What I got will knock you out, yo. Todd, you have the camera.
Woo! Yeah. Tell me something good.
Wow. Tell me. Tell me that you love me, yeah.
Yeah. We will be down at the... and Maze will be singing his favorite tunes.
We're going to have us a karaoke night. Maze and Todd sing the hits.
Yeah.
Tell me something good.
Yep, I can't wait to hear Maze sing Muskrat Love.
I can't wait to see Todd do Warning. Who the this? Paging me at 5:46 in the morning, crack of dawning, and I'm yawning. Wipe the cold out my eyes. Then he's gonna do the remix of the 10 Crack Commandments.
The what?
The 10 Crack Commandments. 1, never let no one know how much dough you hold. You know, cheddar breeds envy and jealousy.
All right, I have to.
Your mama set that ass up.
I'll have to say that it is clever.
Your mama wet that ass up, properly set up. Rule number 1, never let no one know how much dough you hold. I can't believe you never heard the 10 Crack Commandments.
God, no. Just the thought of it kind of makes me like, oh, I need to go to sleep or something.
You need to what?
Go to sleep or something. I don't want to hear that kind of stuff.
It's such a clever song.
No, it does sound like it's clever.
It's a really good song.
I remember you saying there were probably some gang people like 2 seconds away from where I live.
Right. First of all, there's brothers everywhere.
Yeah, there are.
There's brothers everywhere. The brothers be driving their kids. The baddest brothers drive their kids to school every morning. right?
But when I was a kid, our neighborhood was, it was people just moving in, like in Bolingbrook. So, it probably took a little time. But no, I don't know. Maybe people who they were involved on my side of the neighborhood, they just weren't. They saw no reason to really be flamboyant. They didn't want anybody to know.
No, I think in your neighborhood, it's just they just didn't do it in the neighborhood. I know a lot of people that gangbang, but they didn't gangbang in their neighborhood. They didn't gangbang with their parents.
I mean,
right?
That's what we used to complain about. Man, why is this boy in our neighborhood making trouble, and we know he don't live here? There was always somebody. I mean, that's when I was an adult.
Todd, did she think she could get you done today?
I don't know. Because, she couldn't really talk about it because I didn't have any status.
Okay. But they do it all right there?
They do it all right there.
And then you'd be on and popping as soon as she do it?
I believe so.
Okay.
They do the do.
What done happened to my phone screen right there? What's that white dot? Oh, I think I must have hit the button. Tell me that you love me, yeah. Tell me something good. Tell me that you like it.
Shown up to you good. Woo! Tell me something good.
You are tuned in to the Talk Chicago 1690 AM. It's my favorite segment of the week. Tell me something good. Ty, what you got to tell us good, man? What's cracking?
I think the weather's going to be real nice, and it seems like Claire's life has slowed down for a minute, so we're just going to do something with the family.
All right, that's good stuff, man. Well, that's good. I was driving down Halsted yesterday, and I thought about Claire, because I saw all of the St. Ignatius kids running across the street as they were getting ready to graduate. Boy, they was pulling up in limousines and all type of SUVs, and I was like, is it a security detail? Man, that's some high-tech stuff going on at that school. Check it out. I, Todd, am excited. Let me send a big shout out to all of the 8th graders that are graduating, particularly all of the 8th graders that are in, I think the 8th graders that are graduating this weekend are Catholic school 8th graders, of which one happens to be my son, Maze Jackson.
Christ the King?
Hey, man. Then, shout out to Willie Preston. Because his son is graduating. Lil Willie.
That's even better.
Right? His son is graduating, and I think they're going to be classmates at St. Rita, where they will join the ranks of the Mustangs. But shout out, so I will be celebrating the 8th grade graduation of my other pride and joy, because my daughter, she just came home from her freshman year. She's my pride and money gone.
She's the Jayhawk.
Right. I hate to call her a Jayhawk in the land of Illini, but okay. And my son will be graduating from 8th grade, and he got me running all over the city. Y'all, can somebody tell me?
Christ the King, what's their nickname? Because
Screaming Eagles.
Oh, okay, they're an Eagle.
Screaming Eagles, right? I bet. But yesterday I was at the award ceremony. They might as well have been the Fighting Irish. Bro, I was like, this dude, look, you know what? We're going to have to talk about this whole Catholic school experience for black kids. Because yesterday, I'm going to let that be. Congratulations to all of the Screaming Eagles congratulations to all of the young people that are graduating this weekend. I am excited. You know what else? I'm going to tell you something good. I know I'm going to be drinking beer tomorrow in the middle of the street. Can't talk about Saturday. But I'm going to be standing in the middle of the street drinking me a brew, and I'm going to be doing my thing. I'm going to tell you. So look for me tomorrow. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Now that you said that, we'll probably, my wife probably knows of some festival, some street thing that's going on, and we'll probably go there. That's what I'm guessing.
Okay, well, I guess that you probably will. I'm going to send you a text, and we'll go to the streets together. You know what? I got to go. Somebody know that way to tell me to find some spiked. My son wants some spiked dress shoes. You know how these kids got these shoes with the spikes on them? Yeah, man, they look like well, first of all, he asked me for some I was like, hey, dude, I got a job, not you.
Yeah, right.
He asking me for some shoes. I was looking online, and I was like, oh, no, my brother. Oh, no. Todd, I think that right now, there is a transition going on. I don't want to call it the death. I want to call it the regeneration. You know, like when a starfish cuts off its arm, and then it grows another one?
Right. And then the other half grows another one.
And the other half grows another one. Well, what I think is happening, y'all, is we are seeing the end of an era. And a new era politically is being born in Chicago. The North Side, in my estimation, has already started to bloom their new flowers, right? The North Side realized that there was a fire. They let the ashes burn everything down. And from those ashes, the North Side is building a new type of organization.
It's not new. This is just, it appears to be
the reiteration.
No, I was going to say the culmination of pinstripe patronage. Finally, there will be all the old lawyers out of the way, and everything will go to the groups that they always like.
Got it. Here's what I'm asking. Black folks, we're watching it crumble around us. We are seeing age, the government, unelections. What you saw up north with the people getting swept out of office, right now you got so many of the aldermen that with Lori Lightfoot's proposed ethics reforms would essentially make it almost impossible for an unfunded candidate without a rich granddaddy to win. And so when you look at these rules and you look at what is happening, what is our offensive plan? Not our defensive plan, but our offensive plan. We've already lost 10 yards because we took 20 seats in the council and got pushed back by, it was like Jerome Bettis came through the line, right? Like, so y'all got to put 20 people on the field, and Jerome Bettis came rolling through all y'all. Now, I'm all cool with Ed Burke getting rolled.
And you know, there's the perception. There was perception that things got better for people, but when you look at what happened to the committees, all the committees got decimated as they got their budgets cut.
Exactly. Remember I told you, put you in charge of the broom closet. Right? So now, oh, you get a committee, you get a committee, you get a committee. All y'all got 2 people on y'all committees.
Right.
But at least when I show up, I can still say nah, y'all.
You'll see 4 bills a year.
So what I'm going to tell y'all is that black people, and I can't tell the truth. When we talk to Toy and Jahan today, that is a iteration of what can happen if we start working together.
Right.
I'm going to tell you in Springfield, wasn't nobody talking about no black equity, ever. We got 0.7% of the black contracts. So don't act like when they say we got 30 million and we got equity in this piece, that's no big deal. We got to build on what we got. You got your money ready? I got mine. Hey, for Annette Flournoy in the newsroom, for the Wonder Twins, Sonia Escobar and Sonia Tompkins, for the former Cook County Board President, Ty Stroger, for the president of Chicago Radio. Bust that governor stuff. I am the host of the WVON Morning Show, Maze Jackson, and if you don't like it, you can still tell them. Maze said, we out of here. Peace.